Okay. Heyo. Hello, hello, hello. Okay. Oh, not even that badly, okay? I literally was right here. But yes, hello, hello, hello. What the frick? Huh? I don't know. The one red by Crimson. Internet of course interest. That's how that works. Anyway. I measure my time by song. Oh my goodness. Anyway. Are you guys ready to start? Because we literally just found out that the, she 19 or 18? 19-year-old girl was actually Drew Sham, the frickin' art forger, instead of her father, who then got poisoned by a stamp and died. What a way to go. Yeah, since she was 12 as well. Now, can we all agree that, why? I don't know. Maybe just he does not have really good eyesight. It might be that. Would you rather it be like this? Like, Spark Brushel? Because that's not how that... No, that's not because he's dead. He's a painter. Yeah. Painters don't have to have good eyesight to make good art. That's assuming. Alright. October 8th, 1:24 p.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby, number 6. Okay, so where exactly does this leave us, Apollo? Well, the Drew Masham who was killed wasn't Drew Masham, the forger, basically. Huh? Well, then who was he? Well, he was actually... yeah, our client. Which, by the way, this is still the weirdest nail polish thing I have ever seen. Why does it have a tiny and? What is the point of this? Doing her nails. So, you really made those forgeries? It is very weird. Because wouldn't that be more annoying to paint your nails with? I would love that nail polish. What case is this? This is case 4. The last case in Apollo Justice. Unless there's somehow a secret case, but yeah. Yeah, sometimes YouTube be like that. YouTube be like that sometimes. Well, like it's all the streams are put up and they're still what is it? Oh, my brain, I literally said this yesterday. Spirit of Justice, Dual Destinies, and both Miles Edgeworth games to go through. So there's still a lot left. So I mean, there's like 4 more games to go in this series. It's not done anytime soon. But you're here. I forgot there's 3 of these. There's a Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. Then you have Revelation, and then Spirit of Justice, which is the original 3. Then you have Apollo Justice here, which happens 7. Seven years ago? I think it's 7. From 7 years in the future, after whatever point at this case. Then you have Dual Destinies, takes place after Apollo Justice. Then Spirit of Justice. It's connected in the timelines. I got this in a trilogy pack. Yeah, I got in this is Apollo Justice Ace Attorney Trilogy, so I get 3 games in this. So Apollo technically was a standalone game on its own, but I bought it in a pack of 3. They put them in packs now. So there's only one Apollo Justice. The other ones, like the other 2 games, take place timeline-wise after this. So Dual Destinies takes place after Apollo Justice, for a certain detail that I'm not going to say because that's spoilers. And then Spirit of Justice happens after that. Sorry, that was worded. We'll continue, but I just wanted to put that out there. Yeah. You have the first original games, then you have Apollo. Oh, well, you have great... Oh, excuse me, wait. 1, 2, 3. Bump, 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 bump. And then you have the 2 great Ace Attorneys. Excuse me. I almost forgot Ryunosuke. But that got scrapped into poor sales. Maybe. But Apollo still exists in the... He exists in Dual Destinies as an attorney, so technically it still works. My brain is frying. Holy frick. But yeah, so you have the 2 great Ace Attorneys that happened in the past. Okay, I'm gonna say it as simply as possible, okay? We got great Ace Attorney. I'm gonna freaking go complete. We're just gonna do this for all of our sanities. Alright. Before we continue, to make sure that we're all on the same freaking page, it's fine. Fish. What do you mean, fish? Hello, hello. Why, Val? So I'm going to just write this real quick. Just have to see how far up. I don't know. Don't ask me. I don't know. People be weird. Okay. It's kind of covering me, but we'll put it there. Maybe it's something in the water. I don't know. So you have... You have the timeline, which is gonna be like this. That was a perfect straight line. Look at that. Look at that. Look how straight that line is. That's beautiful. I've never done that before. Having a complete straight line. Okay. Anyways. I don't know. It worked. Because I'm doing this with mouse. See? I can't believe that. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. We've already went over this. I'm not adopting anyone. Wow. Anyway. So, at the beginning of the timeline, there you go, that's how it's supposed to work. You have... You have, I'm going to just do initials. Great Ace Attorney. Then, what is it, like a year later? 1 year. This is... Okay, let's get in here. 1 year. And then we go here. Great Ace Attorney. Resolve. So that's with Ryunosuke. I'm just gonna put real. There we go. So that's Phoenix's grandfather, great grandfather. I think it's 3 grades. It's 3 or 4 grades. Ryu from Street Fighter. Not the same though. I don't think he's good with a. Can you write this in cursive? I could, but I don't think that's very helpful. Can I write? Why? This is pretty much cursive. Do you really want cursive here? Is that good enough? Anyway. So, you have that, then you go down the timeline to, like, modern day. We're gonna just do a big line to say modern day. Which starts with the original Ace Attorney with Phoenix first starting out. Blessing on this one, well, thank you. Yeah, it's about, like I said, modern day, so I am not good with mouse. Modern. So modern day Ace Attorney happens. Then you got... It's like a year or something. Then you have... What is it? You have Ace Attorney, I think it's... Revelations, and then you have... The third one that I can't remember. And then... Why can't I remember the frickin' third game? I can't remember the third game, and no, I was talking to myself saying, like, what is the third game? Let me... Ace Attorney games... What the frick is the game called? I can't remember. I love that I can't remember. Oh, Justice for All. Trials and Tribulations. Thank you! Alright. So, this one is... Was it frickin' just... What is it specifically called? Holy frick. Justice for All. So, this one is Justice for... All is like 1 year later. I'll zoom out and everything, but that's for 1 year later. Then I think it's another year goes by. So another year. That is a long way. What do you mean fake fan? Then another year is Ace Attorney, Trials and Tribulations. And then it's It's 7. Is it 7 years? I have to double check. I never remember. Is that really where it is in the timeline? Well, that's listed in order of... Here's the thing, I don't know where the Miles one takes place. I think it takes place here. Like, after... Like, literally not even a year. We're gonna say, like... maybe at most 6 months since the last game, because a lot of stuff happens in relation to golly, my brain is so fried with this thing. Sorry. With Miles's backstory and all the stuff being put together. So the Miles games, so Miles Edgeworth, or May, because it would be Miles Edgeworth Investigations. Is it literally just Investigations 2? Oh, Prosecutor's Path is the second one. And then that one, you have another one that takes place right after, which is going to be Miles Edgeworth. I'm just going to put 2. Investigations 2. I love the further I go down this list, the more my writing decreases. Bring me to March to this Oblivion. Thanks. And then we got... Wow, it is... We'll finish this and then we'll get back to the game. I'm sorry, but it's just to put in my... what I was talking about. I feel like I'm talking crazy, but you know. Alright, there we go. Then... So I think this one takes place... I don't think it's been a year, but maybe a year. A year to 6 months. Or even a couple days. I'd have to double check, because I've never played the Miles Edgeworth Investigations. We will be playing those eventually. I just haven't played them, so I don't know how far along it is. Then I wonder, so oh yeah, I forgot to add the frickin' where is it? So that happens, but then right here you got a curveball. This is frickin' Professor Layton. You have frickin' Professor Layton crossover. I think goes right here. Based on Maya's design. So you got Professor Layton happening at some point between this. And then... and then... whatever the timeline is after, I think it's 7 years. 6 or 7 years. 7 years. Apollo Justice happens. Then... what the frick? Then you have Apollo Justice. Then you have... Ace Attorney. Dual Destinies. And then the last one in the timeline would be right here. Is, Ace Attorney, Spirit of Justice. And I don't know, we'll say, like 2 months. Why did that go 2 months? Holy jeez. 2 months have gone by between the two. But yeah, so that's the whole, like, small timeline. When does Yakuza 0 happen? I don't know that. That's out of my range. So it's like that. So the great Ace Attorney games happen. years ago, once you get into the modern era, the original Ace Attorney happens. Then a year later, the second game happens. Then a year later, the third game happens. At some point, Professor Layton... Let's not freaking get ahead of ourselves here. Let's not go and just try to have another freaking series. Golly, guys. Too many things. Anyway. Then at some point, Professor Layton happens during this time period. During this time period, specifically based on Maya's age. Because Maya has a more adult design in this one. So it has to be around here. And it's been 7 years. And she was 17? 16, 17? Oh, when her sister died in, I think, the first game. So... you have that going on, so the Professor Layton collab happens. 7 years, okay, what's this? Oh my gosh. Okay, anyway. I'll eventually have to do a whole PowerPoint about these guys, but that's an eventual thing that I'm going to have to deal with so much lore that my brain's gonna explode. Anyway, so, this is during the time when Phoenix is a newbie, fresh greenhorn, / getting into making his name out in the world. And that's after Trials and Tribulations, Miles goes about his way to do some other things. Yeah, that's a problem for Future Ren. Yes, it is. I have many explanation streams to do. They're there. There's a list. It's gonna get there. It'll happen. It'll get done eventually. It just keeps getting longer, so it'll never end. But yeah, Miles is off trying to find himself in these two games after meeting up with Phoenix again. Then, at some point during 7 years, something happens where Phoenix doesn't have his attorney's badge anymore, so then that's when Apollo Justice happens. Then, I think, like I said, a year to 6 months happen. You have Dual Destinies, and then a couple months later, you have Spirit of Justice. So yeah. Hopefully that made sense. That was a definite good waste of our time. Yes, sirree, Bob. Well, because if I'm trying to go through all the story, I think you guys would like quality over quantity. You know, which is a lot of things to do. Especially when I make stuff like frickin' Termina and Deltarune lore videos. Or lore stream. No time is wasted with... Well, thanks, Val. Easy to make, hard to keep, and hard to understand. Yeah. Alright, let's continue. Yes, for father. I know, it was wrong. Could you tell us how it happened? My father was a painter. I loved painting ever since I was a child. One day, father saw it in me. He saw that I had the talent. The talent for making forgeries? How should I say it? It was not only paintings I made. Given the materials, I could make anything. Anything? Father was so proud, and I so happy. But in the end, I was making those. By the way, what do you guys think of the funny little lion on her, what the frick are the overalls? Overalls, that's what they're called. Forgeries. I've never had a good constitution nor personality. I know very little of the world outside my door. Now, because of me, father is definitely not used to going outside. Yeah. Do you know about this red envelope? Golly, let me try that again. Do you know about this red envelope? I remember that envelope. It was some time ago. So you were already you were already creating your works back then? I started when I was only 12 years old. So the one who figured out the stamp was poisoned, that was... Mr. Justice, it's time. To the courtroom, please. Right. Out of time. Wait, Vera, just one more thing, please. Those 3 paintings in the studio. I painted those as part of my work. Right, see, we checked them out and we saw what was underneath. We saw the rough sketches underneath the 3 finished paintings. I see. Mr. Justice? Yes? Father, he knew of you. Of both of you. What does that mean? What does that mean? Were we being watched? And for what purpose? And don't say freaking another stalker. I swear, we're not doing this again. Your late father? He was watching, gathering information. All about the Wright and Co. law offices. But lately we're not doing just law. Yes, you did tricks, gags to amuse, and play piano. Well, they're not really gags. Yet when Father heard you had resumed the legal business, how pleased he was. He was happy we were starting the legal services. Weird for a man who made money off forgeries? Why would you be happy that a freaking famous law office is now back in business if you are actively breaking the law? What a weird conundrum. Who was Mr. Masham? How am I supposed to know? What if he was Dad's dad? No. I will stop you right there. No. Judging from the relative ages involved, I say it's highly unlikely. Yeah, you're gonna say that he's 33, this guy's 52. Like, that's a little bit of a close range, if I would say. Things are already confusing enough with all these dads running around. We know that the victim's daughter Vera was the forger. What does this mean for the case? Guess we're about to find out. Chaos. October 8th, 1:36 p.m., District Court, Courtroom number 3. Court is now back in session. I was wondering why he was watching some 15-year-old and then they say Wright and Co. law firm. Yeah, it was like... He was watching The Office for some reason. Like I said, I think somehow these guys are involved with what happened to Phoenix's attorney's badge. 7 years ago? 7 years ago? I'm not kidding. I can't remember if it's the 6 years ago or if it's 7 years ago. Vera seems pretty tense. She's practically chewing her fingernails clean off. Oh boy, now I gotta remember how to say clavier. I got it. Perhaps you could begin by telling us how it all worked. Looked. Golly. The Office is pretty funny. I've never watched it myself, but apparently a lot of people find it funny. How did you set this Drew Masham Forger persona? You're asking her when she was 12. 12! You're gonna ask a 12-year-old. Oh, hey, why did you start making forgeries? Oh, my dad told me to. Oh boy. There's that stare again. She's drilling more holes into his head. I know it's hard for you, but hey, he's a handsome guy. What's... What? What? Apollo. What are you going on about? It's like, what do you mean? I swear, Apollo Justice went up with, like, the freaking, like, adult jokes. Very well, miss, if you would. Did you really make those detestable forgeries? Perhaps you'd rather answer my question? Oh, hi, Natural. Were you the one who painted that painting? The remarkably similar one. Yes. I painted it, yes. Father praised me quite highly for it. So she was the one who made the forgeries. Yet she did not wish to reveal the truth of their operation. So the victim was a stand-in, a decoy. To the world at large, he was the forger, not her. Once again, 12 years old. Can we all agree that you can't say that she was a mastermind at 12 years old unless you got some really good proof to me to tell me, oh yes, this 12-year-old planned everything from the beginning. I've done a bad thing. Haven't I? Regardless, we need a little more information. I'm not having any laggy problems, so it might be a you thing, Natural. You're very funny, Eldridge. About, for instance, this. You have seen this before, Ja? Yes, it was in the desk drawer. Very well, you may proceed with your testimony. Tell us everything you know about this envelope. Yeah, we haven't gotten to the past yet. Red envelope. I created things and Father sold them. This envelope came after my first work that was other than a painting. Father handled the deal, all of it. I received a stamp that was in that envelope. Well, look at that. What a weirdly ominous stamp. It was after that job that we moved to the current studio. So they moved. I don't know. She's a prodigy, man. There certainly was much of great interest in your testimony. Not that the witness realizes it. Very well, please begin the cross-examination. Right, okay. I need more information about this forger. This Drew Masham. Cross-examination. Okay. Create things, Father sold them. So these things you were making are... You mean paintings identical to other paintings, right? The closer they were, the happier Father was. I was happy too. Still, you're quite young now. When did you begin this work? My first painting sold when I was 12. Okay. Your Honor, she had no idea what she was doing was illegal. At the time, yes. Easy there, little attorney. You're not here to defend you for the crime of forgery. True. Please tell us more about this envelope. This envelope oh my goodness. This envelope that may very well have killed your father. Alright. Yeah, you know she's gonna have to go to court for forgeries? Oh boy. We get out of one court case to go to the next court case and go whoop-de-whoop. By other than a painting, you mean you'd only done paintings up to that point? Yes. But Father had a realization. He noticed my talent extended to making things other than paintings. Better that than murder. True. I also think she will have a less offense because her dad encouraged her to do it. Like, once again, she was 12 years old when this first started. Yeah, she's still gonna be found guilty of forging, but not to the highest degree, because she wasn't the one who was putting her name on everything. Was the one making the big monies. Everything was in her dad's name. I have no lag. Yeah, I have healthy conditions, so I don't know what's going on. For instance, a letter someone had written. Plea deal, she testifies what proves she forged. True. Or a fingerprint left upon a cup. The girl could frickin' falsify evidence. Oh, boy. That's great. Or a signature on a document. A seal upon a letter. None of this makes her sound very innocent at all. And the $100,000 promised in this letter was the start. The beginning of a new industry for Drew Masham. A new industry? The creation of items to be used in criminal proceedings. Oh boy, that makes it even worse. Yeah, she really should take that plea bargain. Yeah, they're very different skills. Forging evidence in other woods. Uh-oh. Well, he's dead, so I don't think he really can protest his own arrest. Because he's already dead. So it's kind of a weird thing of like, what? She would be charged for the forgeries of the paintings and things, but then the higher degree is her forging evidence. So you didn't know how the things you were making were being used? Well, more support in what way? For someone to feel better, or you sympathize? Or if it's someone just going like, hey, can you give me like a pep talk? That's moral support. Like, moral support is a very wide margin. I enjoy painting very much. I think I understand. The Fraulein had lived in an unusual little world. Can you tell us what happened to the papers that were in this envelope? Why should I smile? Father signed them and sent them back, I believe. Did he follow the instructions? Send in the enclosed envelope with the enclosed stamp? This is rather important matter. Give your answer some thought. Oh, I received the stamp that was in that envelope. What do you mean you received it? Did I do something wrong? You didn't use that stamp because it was dangerous, correct? Deadly poison on the back. Estroquinine.
Objection!
Yeah, it's definitely something. A moment there, forehead. You can't force an answer upon the witness. Now then, perhaps you would tell me, Fräulein Vera, why did you receive this stamp? There's something wrong. No, I don't think he will ever stop calling us Air Forehead. It was beautiful. Oh, you mean it was one of those commemorative stamps? Yes, I think it was. So, you didn't know about the poison? She was 12! That means no. I guess not. Yeah, she did it. She was 12 years old and thought, oh, this is a cute stamp, and she put it in a freaking, little, frame because she liked it. So the trap failed by chance. By mistake. Because she can. And they didn't want to do different animations. Thanks to this commemorative stamp. Quite the close call. It was after that job that we moved to the current studio. You mean you moved to where the current Drew studio is? Yes, we saw very few people there. I began drawing picture books. This single job had tied them to the criminal underworld. I think Mr. Masham wished to reduce their visibility in the world at large. When we had to meet someone for some reason, Father posed as the creator of the work. So that was the real essence of the artist Drew Masham. You did the work and he supplied the face. So you really didn't know anything, did you? You had no idea how much danger you were in. Yeah, that pretty much sums it up. Apparently not. About this commemorative stamp, could you tell us more about it? Yeah, I was gonna say she was 12. We can all agree that she was 12. Why would she, unless she is a complete genius in every freaking regard, she was like, oh, it's a cute stamp, I want to keep it. And she kept it for years. It was very pretty, and more than that. Yeah, postage stamp. Yeah, you didn't know what they meant? Yeah, it's a stamp that you put on a letter. Yes? It was a picture of people I liked at the time. This is something new. Oh no, what does Clavier gotta say? Apparently, we've got some cross-examination yet ahead of us. If you would be so kind as to continue your testimony, Fräulein. That's an okay. Postage stamp or notary stamp? No, just a postage stamp to go onto a regular paper letter. The back of it was poisoned. Like, the sticky stuff was poisoned. That's what killed her father. The stamp was a picture of my favorite magician, so I kept it. Now, guys, do you know about some magicians? I wonder, magicians. And by the way, this is me figuring this out. I didn't know most of this. Is it linked again? I think. Who gets dates? So then that means Natural's a magician and Paul's a magician. I don't know if anyone else has had a freaking date, but you know. Yeah, $70 for a ticket. Magicians? I love mysterious things. I always have. Even though... Excuse me. Let me try that again. Even though she fainted when she saw Mr. Hat. You're confusing mysterious with freaky. Father took me when I was very young. It was a great magic show. I loved it so much. See, isn't magic great? Okay, then we have only had 2 individuals in the chat that have been on dates. Yeah, that is a pretty funny coincidence, ain't it? Fine, great, yeah, sure, no need to get all excited. But the magic troupe we saw disbanded soon after. I must sacrifice a lamp? Why a lamp? It was quite sad. I was like, you're sacrificing a lamp? What lamp? What frickin' cult are you into? That means just give it a desk lamp. Here's my desk lamp. Help me get a date. Your most prized lamp. That would be great. Did she just say what I think she said? Magic troupe. Now, where have I heard that before? Me, the light I used to see in the world. The red envelope came after she completed her first job. That makes it a letter from her client, whoever wanted a forgery made. Apollo? We're close, we just have to piece together the parts. A deadly weapon in a red envelope, and the path it took to take Drew Masham's life. Well, it's gonna be the last one. It's gotta be the last one, I just don't know what I would put. Okay, what if I do this? Okay, I think that was it. No mileage out of that stamp PNG. Yes, they do. Those magicians you liked, was it this bunch? Yes. Apollo, that's not a bunch. I see. Still, I have to wonder. Why include a commemorative stamp like that in a business letter? Good question. Well, pretty stamps are always better, and you can't beat Troop Grimoire. That really tells you how famous they were. They had their own stamp. Holy moly, that really was a big, famous magician troupe. That's a big deal. Like, they were a big deal before, but now they're a really big deal. But the whole murder plan was a failure because of it. Ironic, don't you think? Prosecutor Gavin? Why is he sweating? You can tell this was 20 years ago. Yeah, but it's still a great case. Even to this day. Prosecutor Gavin? He's sweating. Very warm in this courtroom. Yes, it is. Grimoire. What's with Gavin? Might I ask just one question of this witness? In your testimony just now, you stated this was your first work. This was your first work that was other than a painting. Please tell me, what exactly did you make? Can I ask why? No! Answer the question. Now. Now, can you believe that? Prosecutor Gavin never acts like that around women. Ever. Relevance? It is relevant. I don't know, do you guys want me to tell you why it's technically relevant? I don't know the whole context, but I do know how it is relevant to what's going on. Because it is relevant. It actually really is completely relevant to what's going on, actually. If you guys want me to tell you my hypothesis, isn't relevant to the current case. No, it kind of is. Answer, can I answer 42? Sure, Eldridge. It's important because Remember how I said that Phoenix lost his attorney's badge because of a case? Remember how there's supposed to be a defense attorney and a prosecutor? Yeah, I think you guys can piece the rest of it together. Yours are not the one whose volume concerns me. Yes, it is unbecoming of me. I apologize. Yes, only two can exist at a given time. Yep. But I must know, please, Miss Masham, tell me. It was a book. A single page in a book. A book. Please be more specific. It was a handwritten book. Like a diary. And there you go. Your entire career was built off a lie. No, I don't know. So yeah. Clavier Gavin's entire career was based off a forged evidence. And there we go. Yeah. I don't know the whole context, like I said. I don't know what the case was in the past. But yeah. By the way, it was his debut as a prosecutor, by the way. So it was his first ever case. Your Aang is revived from Pokemon. It does look like that, doesn't it? But yeah. Clavier Gavin's first case as a prosecutor that he won, I think he won, and it was with forged evidence that he didn't know that it was forged. So yeah, he's got a little bit of trauma going on. What's wrong with Prosecutor Gavin? He looks just like he looks like he just saw a ghost. Miss Masham, this book. Was there a picture of a silk hat on the back cover? Yes or no? How did you know? Ain't this great? Prosecutor Gavin, the defendant is answering all your questions. Stop badgering her. He told you nothing, has he? Your sullied mentor nothing? Sullied who? Phoenix White. Who else? Dad? He never told you about the trial 7 years ago? It was 7 years ago. I did get it right. Haha! About how he came to lose his attorney's badge. It was a certain piece of evidence that decided his fate, you know. A certain diary. On the back it bore the mark of a silk hat. What? He's very silent. So yeah, her forgery skyrocketed Clavier's career and then took Phoenix Wright away from law for 7 years. So maybe Drew Masham felt guilty about, Phoenix not being able to practice law anymore because of a commission they took. At least that's my theory. Yeah, his only loss. Well, no, technically, it would be his second loss. Because he had a client that was actually guilty of murder, if you guys remember. So it technically would be the only other time that he has lost, but the person was actually guilty. I don't know if you guys remember that case. It was a rarity where actually Phoenix's client was guilty of murder. Like, he actually did it. I'm not kidding. If you guys remember, it was when Maya was kidnapped. I know that's not narrowing it down, but by the butler man. I don't think I don't. No, because I ain't seen it. Well, it's in one of the other ones. I can't remember which one it was. It might have been the second or... no. It was the second. Yeah, it was the second one. Phoenix Wright tossed out of the profession by false evidence, and the forger who made that evidence. Is this girl standing right in front of me? Vera, you must tell us. The evidence you made was used in a trial 7 years ago. Who asked Drew Masham, you, to forge that evidence? For all of our sakes, who was it? Oh boy. We only met once. You met the client? Well, who was it? It was... What's going on with Vera? She's staring at Prosecutor Gavin's face again. Yes, what? Is there something about me? I remember clearly. I remember who gave me the book, the diary. Who was it? Vera! The devil. Well, that could be frickin' anybody. Please tell me she's not dead. Defendant Vera Masham, condition unconscious. Examiner's diagnosis, acute estrocquinine poison. Are you kidding me? How did she get poisoned? How the frick did she get poisoned? Well, she's alive. Holy frick. This ends the recording of the trial for the murder of Drew Masham. Vera Masham was, during the trial, poisoned by an unknown assailant. Yeah, it really was. The dosage was just under the lethal amount, sparing the defendant's life. She is currently in intensive care and is not to be disturbed for any reason. A very simple case, at first glance. Until it finally began to show its true colors. The long road to the truth takes us to the record of another trial. Look, it's our old buddy. Look at him when he was young. Look at him. Look at him. In some ways, that was the starting point of it all. And that is where we must go. By the way, what do you guys think of, young Prosecutor Gavin? Clavier Gavin. Back when he was 21 instead of 22, yeah? By Cecil. Yeah. So yeah, what do you guys think of young Clavier over here? I can't even remember. Does he freaking have his shirt open like this when he's older? I don't remember. But you're really wearing sunglasses in court. He looks like he smells like sheep cologne. Sorry, that was funny. That made me cough super hard. Aw, look at little baby Trucy. Ain't she adorable? To find the whole truth. To be continued right now. Yes, please. Well, we're gonna be seeing her. Showdown time. Oh, would you look at that? Doesn't this feel familiar? I lost. It's only a game of poker. A game I played for a long time. And lost twice. And only lost twice. Who was the first? The man I killed, of course. Well, it seems I found the partner I've been looking for all along. Over a game of cards? Well, yes, over a game of cards. That was how we first met, 7 years ago. By the way, the person's belt has a Z. 7 years earlier, Phoenix Wright's final trial. Oh, I feel nostalgia. Holy frick, I can feel the nostalgia. But yeah, so they played poker. And, well, I just wanted to say, because I was covering it, is that the belt had a Z on it. Just like how the Val had a V. April 19th, 9:27 a.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby number 2. Phew, okay. It's been a long time since I felt like such a rookie. Gotta try and relax. Hey guys, do you remember the picture in the office? Here you go! There's his face! And now you can actually see the Z. Zach! Oh, good morning, Mr. Igmar? This outfit is a lot. He's a magician. Of course it's a lot. You need to have people having attention. Actually looks cool. Oh, so you think he look... Yes! Well, it's Trucy's dad. Of course he's gonna look cool. Well, one dad. If we go by everyone else's popular theory, this is one of 3 dads that she has. Enigmar? Okay. I'm sorry to have sprung this on you so suddenly. I received the file from your previous attorney only yesterday. Honestly, I'm not entirely sure I'm prepared. Fathers, yes. I guess so. I understand I'm asking the impossible of you. Yes, well, you haven't really told me what happened yet. All we did was play cards. That was enough. Actually, it wasn't, trust me. Oh, little baby Trucy. Oh, good morning, Dad. And look, she's matching his outfit. Isn't that so cute? Oh my gosh, she's so cute. Sorry. I can't help it. Oh, I'm so glad you came. You okay, Dad? They picking on you? I'm fine as always. This old boy here is to help me after all. That's young man to you. Good morning. That's a cute outfit you have on. Thanks, my first show's today after all. Oh, I'm sure it is. What the heck is she talking about? I don't know, Phoenix. What could she possibly be talking about? Oh, old boy. Old boy. Huh? Me? Look what he started. Here. It seems fate's clock will make me wait a little longer, at least only less than 10 swift minutes remain. To all those who have supported me in my life's work, I give thanks. Farewell. Magnifique Grimoire. Oh yeah, he was the Zach and Val's teacher. Why are you giving us this, Trucy? I don't know. I just got it over there in the hall. They told me to give it to the old boy in blue suit with the spiky hair. Better question is why she has this. She was given it, apparently. They said it was really important. What's this? Memo for you or some such? Not from the looks of it. What is this? Looks like a page from someone's diary. Wait. Was their teacher murdered? Was Magnifique Grimoire murdered? I never even thought about that. Is this the trial about this guy's death? no one ever said that Magnifique Grimoire was murdered. I'm assuming it's him. Right? I'll give it a read later. Mysterious paper just received before the trial. What the frick is that? Hang on. Give me that. What is that? Yeah. Oh my gosh. It's the teacher. The teacher was murdered. Holy frick. Guys. Guys, he's got a hole in his head. How does that work? Holy frick! It's matching with the clown. That's creepy. And then, this exists. Oh, I don't know. I can't tell what these are. But he's got a bag. I just noticed it. Actually, depending on the angle, the middle of the forehead actually ain't the bad place to get hit. I know, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm saying that it looks like a hole in his head. Like, not like there's blood coming out of it. He's just got a hole in his head. But just take it out, that's medicine. This, right here behind me, is medicine. And then you have this. I wonder if he was killed by aqua quinine as well. The bag, yeah, okay. I just was curious. I think that's I think it's a diabetes bag. It looks familiar. It looks like a diabetes bag. Do you guys know what that is? Because I know what it is. It almost kind of looks like that. It's the, yeah, my grandpa has the same kind of bag. I know someone who has this type of bag, because I recognize the the green little bottle thing where they keep their syringes. No, it's actually, what it is that this is a little monitor here, so they'll prick their finger, and this has like a little strip that they put their blood on, and then they input it into this to read how much their sugar is. And that's how they know how much insulin to take. Because depending on how much sugar you have depends on how much insulin someone has to take, or how little, depending on how little of sugar they have. Fun fact, by the way. I just was like, oh my gosh, I know this. I've seen this before. Sorry, I got frickin'... Yeah, he's only 67? Holy crap, man. He's still young. He was still young, man. Wow. Magnifique Grimoire, age 67, male, estimated time of death April 13th, between 11 and 11:30 p.m. Cause of death, loss of blood from bullet wound. No, malignant tumor found in victim's liver. To oblivion. Sorry. Hey, it is related. Maybe this bag will be the clincher into this whole mystery. What? 67 is still pretty young. Look at him. He looks pretty well put together for himself. Anyway. Well, how do you feel about the trial today? We'll get through it, somehow. Incidentally, the prosecutor today is a new guy, I hear. Oh, an easy win then, yes? I wouldn't say that. I don't know, people usually live like 10 to 15, 20 years past 67. Hi, Dylan. Well, I'm saying is that he still had a lot of life left in him. If he was very healthy, then he had a lot of life left in him. That's all. Just because someone's in their late 60s doesn't mean they still don't have a lot of stuff to do in life, you know? Well, 15, 20 years is still pretty good. They're calling him a true thoroughbred in the history of the prosecutor's office. Wow. Of course, there's one of those every year. Switching of attorneys just before the trial. I know it is a difficult situation I put you in, but allow me to say one thing, Mr. Wright. Yes? They will not be able to pronounce me guilty today. So, do your best, but do not worry. But being like almost 70, you kind of stop being young. Okay, then I should say he was still had a lot of life left to live. Is that better? I'm also 800 years old, so you know, that is young in my eyes. We're coming from a perspective where I am currently 800 years old, and that is young. So, you know, that's, speaking his 70s is very young to me. First time a defendant's ever given me a pep speech. I'll do what I can. See, you do not understand. You see, it will be impossible for them to declare a verdict. Huh? What do you mean impossible? Impossible? Yes, isn't that right, Trucy?
Yep, you bet, Dad.
My first look at the case was only yesterday, and the information I was given was a tad bit lacking, to be honest. Wow, they really look alike. Still, I'll do what I can, for their sake. I believe the curtains will be lifting any time now. In your capable hands, Mr. Wright. My client is Shady... I'm gonna mess up this name. Holy frick. I'm going to pin this because my brain is like this today. My client is Shady Enigmar. By the way, guys, does he look familiar? Phonetically spelled. I want to ask, do you guys recognize him? At all? I'm very curious if you guys know. Kinda? Where do you recognize him from? Because we've seen him before. Known to the world as Zach Grimari. I'll give you guys a second to see if you can connect the dots. Unless you want me just to come out and say it, because this should be a, oh my gosh. I have no idea what that is. Oh yeah, you connected that dot a while ago? Okay, then I'll just tell everybody. This is Shady Smith, the murder victim from the first trial from Apollo. This is Shady Smith, the guy who died in the poker game in the first trial. This is Shady Smith. Obviously, Smith is not his actual last name. He changed his last name. Because Zach Grimari has been missing for 7 years. And then Shady Smith is a murder victim in the first trial. So yeah, it's a little bit, just to say, it blew my freaking mind when I first learned this. Is Slim, Shady Slim. I just know weirdly I remember Shady Smith because I think it was such a random thing. From Princess Bride. No. But yeah, when I first learned of this, it blew my freaking mind. I'm like, oh my gosh, how does this connect? And why is this? Why is that? Huh? It blew my mind. A wildly popular magician, star of Troupe Grimari. His mentor, Magnifi Grimari, was a rare breed of magician. He single-handedly ushered in a golden age of stage magic till he was shot dead. And Zach Grimari is the suspect. Why? If you say, oh, because he learns, he is able to gain the thing, then he would be the likely suspect. Do we all agree that that's a freaking, like, very obvious thing that's would be weird for him to do that? April 19, 10 a.m., District Court, courtroom number 7. It's a big stretch, yep. Oh, look, Judge, you look nice and youthful as always. His master killed his father. Huh? By the way, guys, doesn't the judge have a youthful glow right now from 7 years ago? It's very youthful. Court is now in session for the trial of Shady, holy moly, Shady, oh my gosh, Ignamar. You look like you haven't aged at all in 7 years, Judge. Yep. Egghead. He's not an egg. Leave the judge alone. Enigmar. Golly, my brain. Enigmar. Okay. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Is the prosecution ready? I was just thinking, is this what all this fuss is about? A bit of a buzzkill, really. Buzzkill? Is this some kind of new crime? Whenever it was, this is a trial, Joe. Where are the sweaty palms, the pounding hearts? A Gavanier's concert got 10 times the thrill this gig's got. Oh, he was doing the Gaviniers 7 years ago. Oh, boy. Oh, he had the color black for his color scheme. Interesting. That's actually really interesting. He really popped out because you have one's in yellow, one's in pink, one's in blue, and then he's got black. That's pretty. Yeah, he was already overconfident. You don't say. Who were you again? Clavier Gavin. I came to get the party started legally, ja? Gavin? Defense attorney Christoph Gavins? Figures my bro's more famous in this part of town. Well, yes. He's a defense attorney, seasoned defense attorney. You have not done any trials. Do we really think the judge is gonna listen to some rock music? That doesn't seem to be his type. Javier Gavin, lead singer for the mega hit band The Gaviniers. Get out of your league, rock boy. What the frick, Phoenix? Holy mollies! I know what you're thinking. You're out of your league, rock boy. You read him like a book. True, my debut single, 13 Years, Hard Time for Love, went platinum overnight. But that's just a hobby to me compared to this, yeah? What do you put on your burger? Cheese and ketchup. That's it. I don't really like anything else on my burger. Talkative, aren't you? I like your affected Euro rock accent, by the way. Good job. Is it a hobby to you? I would hope so. I'm just getting warmed up, attorney, right? Wow, he actually... Look at that! He treats someone with respect and actually says their last name. Look at that. That's rare. He calls Apollo Air Forehead, but gives Phoenix a freaking respect. I see how it is. I see how it is. Oh, and he's 17. I was wondering. I knew he was like 17, 18. Perhaps you would be so kind as to fill us in on the case. Time to call on the opening act. What was his name again? Ah yes, Detective Gumshoe. Hit it. Gumshoe's here? Gumshoe! Gumshoe! He's back! He's back! Holy frick! I didn't know he was in this case. Holy frick! It's been forever, buddy. We missed you. Apollo's a trainee, I guess. Even though he's kicked Clavier's butt 3 times in a row. Well, I finally see the guy in action. Yeah, Gumshoe. He's best. He's best detective. He must have retired. That? Well, that or he's hanging out with Edgeworth. You know, because those two are, like, partners in the prosecuting unit. So maybe he's just busy helping Edgeworth with, like, because Edgeworth becomes the head of the prosecuting office, so he's probably helping Edgeworth out with paperwork and stuff, if I had to guess. So he's not as much in the field anymore. And you are? Hey, you're the one who called me up here, sir. Name's Gumshoe. I'm a homicide detective down at the precinct. Detective Gumshoe, long time no see. Hey, you! Huh? Me? Today's the day, pal. Today I win and you lose. I got confidence in my testimony today, see? What? You normally lack confidence in your testimony? Yes, he does. Usually. Because he's Gumshoe. Oh my... Sorry. I'm a detective. This is my stage. Can the antics. Huh? All this hey-youing and such. I could care less about your history together. Well, I do. So why don't you go over in the corner? I like Gumshoe. He's fun. You're the new boy on the block, so why don't you freaking sit down and freaking relax? Yes, he is a detective, but he might have moved up. Like, he might have been the head of the detectives. So then he works alongside Edgeworth at the prosecuting office, is what I mean. Believe he's gonna win this trial. I hate the Blondie even more. Yeah, I'm not saying that he's his subordinate, technically. I'm saying that he's working... He might have became the head detective. So then he works alongside the head of the prosecution office, is my guess. He got promoted to private investigator. Then I don't know. It's just a guess. He likes hanging out with Miles. You know? So it's not surprising. Orc. It's a joke. Okay. Like I said, that's just my assumption. Is that he either one decided that he just wanted to dedicate time to paperwork instead of being out in the field and years later. Or 2, he moved up and is head of the detectives. I think Gumshoe is the freaking... He failed upwards, like Dobert Comics. Yes, I guess he did. I think Gumshoe more is like the, he's a good old friend, or like an uncle at this point, I think, to Edgeworth at some instances. Very well, Detective. Gumshoe, if you will. Please tell us about the case at hand. It happened 6 days back in a room at the General Hospital. The facts are as simple as they come. Here's the crime scene. The victim was a patient, asleep in a hospital bed. The killer comes in, puts a pistol to his forehead, and bam, lights out. Them's the facts. Not so long ago, the victim, Magnifique Mari, was a famous man. Ooh! He had the entire country under his magical spell, as it were. Ah yes, the great magician. He retired years ago, though. Say the name Magnifique to one of my generation and you'd be lucky to get the blank stare. How about you freaking, How does that work if there's literally a child that is younger than you who she's freaking 8 and she knows who he is? What do you say to that, buddy? Yes, though I'm sure the youngsters today know his disciples even better. I dare say Troop Grimoire has made quite a name for themselves. Anyhow, the retired Magnifi's been in the hospital for the last year. Yes, that's true, see. As 8 years old. Yes, we're ignoring the fact that she's a relative. She's not a relative. I don't think they're actually related. They're not related at all. They're just in the same, her dad's in the same magic troupe as Magnifi Grimoire. He was his mentor, not his actual relative. So they're not blood related, so it does count. But by fate, yes, I guess so. I was just gonna say, I don't think they're blood related. But he might consider him his might consider Magnifi her grandpa. Since she probably saw him all the time. What was it? A mall ignorant tutor or something? Doing something to his liver, I think. Yeah. Malignant tumor. Sorry. Malignant tumor. Holy frick! Like when the cowlick is down, maybe. Kind of looks like Apollo now that you look at it. What, Gumshoe? Yes, that is his whole thing. Why do you think his last name is Gumshoe? Do you see why we all like Gumshoe now, Paul? Let's try that again. And malignant, not for the right reasons, apparently. What? We find him lovable and silly. He has done some good things, though. You just have missed all the stuff where he actually is great. What the frick was this? Malignant tumor, perhaps. Perhaps, golly. In other words, he had liver cancer. He had only 3 months left to live, in fact. 3? Wow. Kid in 3 months. That sucks. The facts do seem simple enough. But something's not right. The victim was already climbing a 3-month stairway to heaven. Why not wait for him to knock, knock, knock on heaven's door? Why shoot him? I wouldn't put it quite so lyrically, but it's true. Why make the effort to commit murder when the victim was about to die? Incidentally, the victim had a serious case of diabetes. Woohoo, I got it right! Sorry, I'm just so happy that I actually read this character correctly. Woohoo! I'm so happy. I'm sorry. I'm not happy that he has diabetes. It's a horrible thing to live with. I know it is. I'm just happy that my knowledge has been useful. Yay! Diabetes. In fact, he was about to shoot up with insulin. When he was shot with a pistol. With the pistol, the syringe was found at the crime scene. Oh, so that's his. I guess I'm used to the modern day equivalent, but yeah, that does make sense, doesn't it? But why would he put it in this arm and take the IV out? I don't know how well insulin works with IVs. IV fluids. That seems like a weird place to do that. I've decided to give my vast fortune and property to the charity of orphan babies who cancer. This go into effect tomorrow. That would be funny. Left all my treasures in one place. You guys just having fun over there? Alright. Alright. chronic diabetes, and cancer. As much as it pains me to say it, the victim was clearly at the end of his life. Use for administering insulin shots has been washed and shows no sign of use. Okay, I'm very confused. He looks very healthy. So my question then becomes, he administers it himself? In the hospital? The cackle may have not been for insulin, or he could have a formula which means that he needs constant monitoring and injection. Well, I'm not saying that the IV was for insulin. I'm saying I don't know if the IV fluids meshes well with insulin, is what I'm saying. So I don't know if he should be putting the insulin in the same arm where the IV was, is what I'm saying. Yeah, they have this with the needle and the frass. They used to be a proper injection pen, but they changed it for the new version that you switch the charge like an EpiPen. Yep, I know exactly. Yeah, it kind of blows my mind. So that's interesting to see, but yeah, that's what I'm talking about is, does the IV fluids affect the insulin's effectiveness, or does it cause issues, so should you do it in the other arm? But I don't know. That's just me wondering. Technology, yeah. I believe the question before us is clear then. Why did the killer have to shoot this dying man? What reason could he have had? Very well, Detective. Perhaps you could enlighten us as to the circumstances of the shooting. Yes, sir. Now, since it's basically just salt water and an IV drip. That's all. If it doesn't, then it's fine. I just thought it was a strange thing to want to do, I guess. The circumstances. Actually, the victim kind of ordered the defendant to do him in. A few days before it happened, the victim sent a letter ordering his own murder. Okay. The defendant did what was asked of him and shot the old man in the forehead. The bullet was fired from the pistol found at the scene, no doubt about it. And the pistol definitely belonged to the old man, sir. How did he have that allowed in the hospital? What? You're saying the victim ordered his own shooting? Those are the facts. I have the letter in question. To my beloved student Zach, to you I entrust the task of Can I read? Thank you. Let me read. To my beloved student Zach, to you I entrust the task of lowering my life's curtain. Come on the 13th, 11:05 p.m. I will ready a weapon with which you will shoot one shot square in the forehead. You cannot refuse, and we both know the reason why. Magnifique Grimoire. What the frick? Why? So, is this... Well, it was a diary page. So this isn't a diary page, though. I don't know if this is the fake one or not. We both know the reason why. Did he have blackmail on Zach? It wouldn't matter if the insulin got injected in the same arm, all the medication would react if it was a different spot too, but the hospital would be monitoring all the medication he takes. Okay, that's all I wanted to ask. Thank you, Dylan. Very unusual indeed. Although could such a thing as a letter really cause one to pull a trigger, I wonder? I believe the answer to that question can be found at the end of the letter. Ah, you cannot refuse, and we both know the reason why. Detective Gumshoe, can you explain this to the court? Fortunately, even the defendant won't say a peep about that bit, sir. One thing bothers me about this. Why didn't he just say 11? Why haven't come at 11:05 without some specific reason? The devil is in the details, attorney. Well, was there some reason? As it turns out, there was. Every night for half an hour starting at 11, the victim, Magnifique Ramari, was given an IV. He was given an IV, but why is the frick is it over here? Why is it over here? Excuse me? An IV? Did he say his needle was unused? Why was it washed? Yeah, that is weird. Yeah, it has been washed and shows no sign of use. I think he will... Yeah, there's nothing. It's clean. It's completely clean. There's no anything. Like, the needle doesn't show any use. Yeah, that is weird. Oh, I hit the wrong button. There it is in the picture off to the side of the bed. At 11, a doctor would come to set up the IV. 30 minutes later, he would come back for the empty bag. Well, the IV is not empty. I think it's pretty full. This happened every night, without fail. But there isn't a clear IV injection site of him. You'd see some decoloration. Yeah? Yeah, I think it's just an art thing. So that was the only time they could meet without the chance of an untimely interruption. During his IV. Well, why go about shooting? I'm like, why go about it that way? If he wanted to die, why is that the way he wants to go out? Very well, shall we begin? Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, if you would. What's the reason he couldn't refuse, I wonder? He could have at least mentioned it to me. Cross-examination. Actually, the victim kind of ordered the defendant to do him in. Just because he got the letter doesn't mean he went through with it. Oh, I disagree. The victim was indeed shot in the forehead, after all, just as he had commanded. It could be a setup, but let's not be in such a hurry. Maybe we should let the witness talk for a change? Thanks, pal. Ha. Fine, I can play it so as well as I can play it fast. On with the testimony, Detective Gumshoe. Alright. A few days before ordering. Alright. This letter was sent by the victim. There it is, gotcha. You're all mine this time, pal. Huh? Or, what is it? Nope. Huh? There we go. I had the handwriting checked out, of course. It's the victim's, no mistake. Ah, I see. Ha 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 ha! Score one for the boys! Can you tell he has, yes. By the way, Paul, he's usually the first one you talk to, so imagine instead of Emma, this Gumshoe. Gumshoe's the one usually telling you the first statement of the trial, and it's always something. So he's got a little bit of a rivalry going on. I didn't lose, I was just ascertaining the facts. So why am I so annoyed? What? A letter ordering your own death? Yeah, just to say, that's what Gumshoe is. Just to give you context of the relationship that Gumshoe has with Phoenix. That's some of it. The other is, he's actually really good friends with Phoenix. They became good friends. Because they've helped each other out on cases before. Oh, if you're wondering, you like Gumshoe because Gumshoe's the reason that Maya is still alive. Yes, Val? He helped save Maya from, almost dying. Things aren't what they used to be, I guess. I'm not sure this is exactly commonplace even now, Your Honor. I met Maya, not Mia. Mia is Phoenix's, mentor. Maya... Okay, so you remember Maya, right? The one with the long black hair, purple kimono? That's Maya. Maya's the younger sister of Mia, who is Phoenix's mentor. Who was murdered. I literally could just go on for days. Holy frick. Anyway. So anyway, I guess I'll keep going while I'm ahead. Yeah, just to put that in preface. Maya was kidnapped by the crazy killer man that I told you that Phoenix had an actual client who committed murder and was forced to defend him. Or else Maya would have died. They were threatening Maya's life. Gumshoe was the one who found Maya and was able to help save her. So you see why we see Gumshoe. He has his moments of being a really good detective. Sorry, that was very long-worded. How can you be so sure? Hey, you gotta learn to stop relying on people to do your thinking for you, pal. Learn to think for yourself. Get that noggin cranking. You fail to grasp the concept of questioning, detective. First, we got this letter. It says shoot in the forehead, loud and clear. I can see that, but I still wouldn't do it. Well, maybe you need to grow yourself a backbone, pal. You fail to grasp the concept of shooting people is bad, detective. We also found the defendant's pistol at the scene. Huh? How do you escape the shorts? What do you mean? I don't know what you mean. Traces of gunpowder residue shows that it had been fired recently. Oh, Mr. Wright? As far as I can tell from the look at this photo, there seems to be no issue with the prosecution's claim. The photo? Maybe there's something in there that I can use. So they're saying the victim shot the victim in the forehead. I think there's a hole in the prosecution's argument. Clearly, Mr. Agmar... They had shot something else. The YouTube shorts. I clicked on one and then 4 hours ago and I haven't eaten in, Well, then go eat. How do you escape the shorts? You go to a different tab. Looking at this photo, another possibility occurs to me. Yes? What does the letter tell us? That the defendant had a reason he couldn't refuse his teacher's wishes. Bingo, pal! That's why the defendant popped him one in the forehead. Oh, the defense disagrees. You see, the defendant had another choice he could make. What, and you can prove that with this photo? I can prove he had a choice, yes. The defendant might have fired like he was ordered, but he didn't shoot the victim's forehead. Well, let's hear what you're thinking, Mr. Wright. If he didn't shoot the victim's forehead, what did the defendant shoot? The clown. The clown. That didn't sound like Phoenix. Did you guys hear that? Did that sound like Phoenix to you guys? Do the prosecutor's voice. Yeah, isn't it great? He's wearing sunglasses indoors. I thought it was funny. But that didn't sound like Phoenix. It sounded different. Maybe it's because I am not you. Maybe because he's slightly older now. Maybe that's why. The clown doll. Take a closer look. See? It's been shot in the forehead, too. Oh, there's a hole in its forehead. Gumshoe? Maybe. Huh. Yes, and a hole in the prosecution's claim. That sounds like Clavier. Huh, and I suppose you have a reason as to why he'd shoot the clown doll. He didn't just shoot the doll, he shot the doll's forehead. His forehead? Ah. Let's read the orders once more, shall we? You will shoot one shot square in the forehead, which is exactly what he did. He shot the clown doll square in the forehead. Events has raised an intriguing possibility. That hole in the clown's forehead, it definitely looks like it was shot. Bailiff said someone to investigate this matter. I admit I'm impressed, but I expected nothing less. Still, this doesn't mean he didn't shoot the victim. Oh, now I hear him. I think it was just weird timing. Perhaps he did have to shoot a forehead, as ordered. But the letter says nothing about whose forehead. That was the only way he had to follow his orders without taking a life. Yeah, it just says... You will shoot one shot square in the forehead. It didn't say whose forehead. What is with a bunch of foreheads lately? We got air forehead for Apollo, and now we're just talking about foreheads in this. What's next? Bullet hole in the clown's doll's forehead does demand an explanation. It might very well be a clue. If Prosecutor Gavin is right, it alone does not prove the defendant's innocence. You cannot say for sure the defendant didn't shoot the victim. So sorry, Mr. White. How sad it is to see the mighty fall. We've barely begun, youngster. Frickin' chill. How sad it is to see the novice's overconfidence. He doesn't realize just how big this little hole is going to get. Detective Gumshoe, please take this newfound fact into account as you continue your testimony. So what if he shot the clown? He still shot the victim, pal. Let's press. So let me get this straight. You're saying my client first shot the clown, then shot the victim? Hey, not a bad summary, pal. More of a confirmation than a summary, but whatever. That was really more of a summary of a confirmation than a summary. But our defense attorney seems pleased enough with himself. Do these people ever miss a chance to mock me? Nope. No, they do not. Well, now that Mr. White's gotten that out of his system, shall we continue with the testimony? I didn't have time to gather all the details before coming in here. This testimony might be my only source of information. Better pay attention and read this letter carefully. So what? He couldn't have because it said one. It said one. Okay, nope, it's gonna be that, ain't it? Oh, boy! It's gonna be one of those. Alright, so this, present. I don't even have the weapon. We don't have it. That's the problem, we don't have it. So I can't present the gun if I don't have it. So what if he shot the clown? He still shot the victim. And it's not this. Objection! Nope. What the frick would it be then? I was thinking it might be a single shot, but maybe it's added if you press the right spot. Maybe? Oh, there we go. You mean this one, the one in the crime scene photo? That's the one! It's a funny looking gun, there's no mistaking it. We've compared the bullet taken from the victim's skull with the bullets fired from this gun. The rifling marks of the bullets were a perfect match. So you verified the murder weapon, in other words. You bet we did. Yeah, the pistol definitely belonged to the old man. The bullet was fired from the pistol found at the scene, no doubt about it. The pistol definitely belonged to the old man. Why are you so certain? What pile of sand has your head been stuck in all this time, pal? You never heard of Zack and Valiant's quick draw shoot 'em? Huh? What's that? What are the defendant's specialties? Oh, by the way, guys, what do you think? Look how young he looks. That weirds me out, how young Valiant looks. Because doesn't he have a bunch of facial hair now? Because he's got the heart, he's got the club. Trucy has the diamond. I wonder if she has the spade. Zack and Valiant stand on either side of a girl. Then they shoot, but the bullet doesn't hit her. Instead, they hit everything else on the stage. This was one of the pistols they used in their show. Got a great design, huh? The kids love it. Many boys and girls joined the police because of that pistol, I hear. You know, that would explain a lot about the police force. Juicy as the Joker. I'm talking about, like, the pin that's holding up their capes. Troop Grim stopped doing that act a while ago. The old man held on to that pistol ever since. The court would like to see the pistol in question. There we go! Finally! You got it, sir. Here she is. Well, this is truly a blast from the past. It's a stage pistol for magic shows, see? But it can fire real bullets. Looks so much bigger in real life than on TV. I know what you meant. I was just thinking it'd be funny if one whole suit is missing. Yeah. Okay, I was just like, I was looking at, like, the pin. I think it's a pin. I don't know what to call it. The thing that holds up their capes. Yeah, but it can only hold one round. By the way, the pistol's firing chamber is empty. And it shows traces of having been fired recently. So, were any fingerprints found on the gun? Unfortunately, no. Of course, the defendant is known for wearing gloves. It's a pin? Okay. I was like, what is it? So, it's a pin that holds up their capes. We might say that a lack of fingerprints is in fact a fingerprint of its own. Aha! Intriguing point. Well made. Whoa, 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 whoa. Not well made, not intriguing. In any case, the court accepts this evidence. Alright, yay! My grandchild will get a kick out of seeing this. No, but now it's time to return to our testimony. Alright, let's save, because we're probably gonna go down a long list of things. Present. Boop. Boop. The trickiest cases often seem the simplest. Prosecutor Gavin, you missed the bullet hole in the clown's forehead. If you hadn't missed that, you might have come to a very different conclusion. Understand? Yeah, but like I just said, pal, after he shot the clown in the forehead, he went and... Did nothing of the sort to the victim. The pistol proves he did not. The murder weapon, how? It's quite simple, Your Honor. This pistol only holds one bullet at a time. Oh. Yeah, oh. If he had shot the clown in the forehead, he couldn't have shot the victim, too. Yarn! That's not a contradiction. Not even close. All he had to do was reload the pistol after the first shot. Oh, where did he get this extra bullet? They're not easy to come by, you know. If you claim the defendant had one ready, then prove to us how he got it. Ha! Oh no. I had the feeling this wasn't over yet. No, this party's just getting started. And I haven't proven anything yet, beyond my good looks and startling record sales. Oh my gosh. That's not how that works. I'm pretty sure that's not how that works. And even if somehow that's how that works, it's a custom-made weapon. So it's not like you could come by a specific, it's a specialty. I am now very tired. Why, are you very tired? Because of Clavier, or what? That line was just... I thought that was funny. It was like, wow. Narcissism at its finest. It's beautiful. This is art. Right, guys? It's a bunch of art. Pure freaking art. I mean, doesn't Sarah mean a custom caliber? I don't know. I guess. And utter lack of humility. And what's this? It seems that the prosecution has another witness prepared. Like I said, a detective was just the warm-up act. Ooh. Now the audience has gotten a taste of what's to come. They're ready. Ready for what? For my decisive witness, of course. A witness... Oh my gosh, this is... A witness who you will find can prove one thing for us. That it was Zach Guimari who shot the victim in the forehead. Very well, we will pause for a 15-minute recess. This might be my lucky break. I'll need that 15 minutes to talk to my client, Zach. Quarters adjourned? I wonder who the witness is. To be continued right now. I'm very curious who the witness is going to be. Because who the frick was there to prove it? April 19th, 11:21 a.m. District Court Defendant, Lobby Number 2. Very impressive, Mr. Wright, I have to say. I expected nothing less. We've only just begun. I was hoping you could tell me a bit more about what happened, actually. Did not think you would believe me if I told you. Better that you discover the truth for yourself. I was thinking of you, you know. I think we need less thinking and more talking. That night in the hospital, what really happened? Oh, the way your eyes gleam, Mr. Wright. You'll scare Trucy. Speaking of which, where is she? You've seen the problem yourself, the letter. The one shot in the forehead one, right? Yes, and the reason he speaks of. I cannot deny my mentor's wishes, even if it meant my own death. Why not? This is something I will not say for now, at least. But yes, what's this for now business? I have done many things in my life, some well, some poorly, and this is a cross we must bear alone to our graves. We? You wanted to know about the night of the incident? Finally, this guy sure likes to take his time getting to the important stuff. Of course, I had no intention of shooting my mentor. I snuck into his room that night at the appointed time, and found there upon his bedside 2 pistols. 2? 2? What do you mean 2? Why is there 2? Like, I know that there's 2 for the performance, but why does he have both of them? And where did the second one go? Off for the holidays? 2? Yes, the one I had used on stage, and the one that had been used by my partner, Valen. Oh, for the Zack and Valence quick draw thing? That's weird. My mentor had the look of one sleeping. I stood by his bedside, hearing only the light sound of his breathing. Then I took the pistol into my hand. I cannot deny that my resolve faltered then for a moment. You faltered? You mean you thought about shooting him? Recall there was a reason I couldn't refuse his request. His last such request, though not his first. So there were other requests you couldn't refuse before? To be honest, I've not always been steadfast, and I fear I've brought pain upon Trilogy. Was Magnifi coercing his disciples somehow? Just what was going on in Troop Grimoire? Yet, in the end, I did not shoot him. Instead, I turned and shot the clown. I took the pistol I had fired and placed it in my pocket. In your pocket? You have pockets in those costumes? I believe if you examine the bullet in the clown's head, you will find it to be different than the one in my mentor. What were those called? Rifling marks? Yes, well, that is all I have to tell you concerning the case. Concerning the case? You mean there's something else you can tell me? You are a fascinating man, Mr. Wright. Thanks? Yes, there is something. My mentor. His eyes opened. What? Magnifi Grimoire? The old devil? He was not asleep, you see. Of course, the gunshot would have woken him anyway. And there we had our last discussion as mentor and pupil. It was not a long discussion, maybe 5-10 minutes or so. What did you talk about? I'm gonna be honest, where the frick were the doctors and nurses? Were they just frickin' asleep? If you literally heard a shot ring out, did no one hear it? Was no one awake? Did no one say anything? Now that I think about it, he's in a frickin' hospital. No one decided to see what the frick was going on? For 5 to 10 minutes after the shot rang out? The people at this hospital need to be fired. What the frick? Haha, Mr. Wright. Did I not just tell you? It does not concern this case. Zach Grimoire, he seems pretty steadfast to me, or maybe just stubborn. Mr. Wright, your presence is requested in the courtroom. Once again, I am in your hands. Right, let's get back in there. Woohoo! April 19th, 11:30, 7 a.m., District Court, courtroom number 7. Court is now back in session. During our recess, a bullet was found in and dug out from the clown's head. Well, this is news. And the rifling marks? There wasn't time to do a detailed analysis. Though they did find the weapon type matches the motive weapon. Well, that's not very conclusive, is it? Which is why I'm about to call my very decisive witness. Your decisive witness? How many times have I heard those words? Way too frickin' many. Way too frickin' many. Way too frickin' many. I'm not kidding, there's been so many decisive witnesses. It's not even funny. Though they often turned out to be far less decisive than you think. Oh, don't worry on my account. I'm quite confident this witness will do the job. After all, he is intimately acquainted with the players in our little production, being the other half of Troop Grimoire's famous duo, Zack and Valent. Valent testified against Zack. Strange. Valiant Grimoire. So, we get to meet the great Magnifi's other disciple. Wow, he really loves that spinning trick, even 7 years later. Now, can we all agree though, do we think that Valiant was the one who commissioned Drew Masham? Are we kind of all in like that same ballpark? Or am I the only one that thinks that? That's at least my guess. That's my theory. Perhaps they'll start by asking your name and occupation. Grimoire, magician. And you're the decisive witness, are you? You prove your fellow student your partner's guilt? Face the great illusion filled with traps and tricks. Wait, the shooting took place in that hospital after 11 o'clock at night. If you're a witness, does that mean you were there that late? If one were to deduce this logically, the conclusion is yes. Which, speaking of, these guys are in freaking bright-colored neon outfits. Did no one see them? What is this hospital at 11 o'clock at night? This hospital's getting worse by the moment. Okay. I always get the characters, don't I? Yes, you do. I have an interesting fact for you. You see, several days before the crime, my witness received this. That looks very familiar. Well, they are magicians, I guess, so maybe they magic themselves in and out. Wait. That's the same letter Zach Grimoire received. They're used to disappearing. Ha, 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 ha. Yes, or perhaps I should say, ta-da! Oh, look at that post. Order, order, order. And what does it say? Surely not the same thing. Just like Father's. Yep. In this series, yes. Now, guys, I really do believe this now. I 100% believe that Valiant's the one who freaking commissioned a forging of his teacher's writing. I believe it. I really 100% believe it. Perhaps you should see for yourself. To my beloved student, Valiant interest. Okay, at 11:20 p.m. Interesting that it says 11:20 p.m. Why, it's practically the same. The court accepts this into evidence. Magnify's second letter. This is most unusual. Exactly what was going on with you folks? What exactly was your true Grimoire up to? By which you mean? I'm just having trouble envisioning a man who would ask his students to kill him. Both of them, no less. It's just my opinion, Herr Judge. But from these letters, I'd say he was coercing them, not asking them. We walked the magician's path together, and in doing so, shared much of our lives. When people are so close, there is a strain, a warping of relations, you might say. Yet this has nothing to do with the case at hand. He was 100%. So we all agree? What do you mean, coercing? That Magnify was coercing, or that he 100% commissioned? Planning on testing them for the inheritance or something? Ah, okay, so you're talking about Magnify Grimoire here, okay. By which you mean you're not going to tell us? Which makes me wonder even more about this reason they couldn't refuse. Well, let's get on with the testimony for starters. The defendant, Zach Grimoire, stands accused. Tell us why. Oh, I do more than that. From where he walks, the red rose rise, singing hymns to the miracle that is magic. And yes, I'm going to make... We all agree that he really is a performer, so me being exaggeratory is perfect for him. Fascinating, though I hardly need to remind you that the evidence could just as clearly point to you as the suspect. The letter, the murder weapon, and now the 2 bullets found at the scene. In fact, the only difference seems to be the designated time. Ho 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 ho! As every magician knows, timing is everything. Yes, and now it's time to get this party fired up. The night of the crime. That night I visited the hospital room at the time Magnify requested. The smell of gunpowder hung in the room, and my mentor had taken his final bow. I did not imagine my fellow students might have received the same instructions. Yet a deal with the dead is still a deal. Does sweet kiss I gave to the clown. Then I informed the doctor and the police. Once again, where the frick was this doctor? What is this frickin' hospital? This hospital sucks. People are going in and out, don't hear frickin' anything, nothing going on. Okay. Sure. Why not? So you were the one who reported the crime? Yeah, he's very traitorous. On a smoke break. Oh yes, the nurses and all the doctors are on a smoke break. Just told all the patients, oh, we'll be back in like 5-10 minutes. And listening to very loud music. Because there's like a convenience store across the street that has very loud music. Couldn't hear a frickin' thing. Yep, that's exactly what happened. Indeed, I would think. This fact alone would clear my name of suspicion. No. It would not. Let's not jump to any conclusions. Yes, the cross-examination generally comes from conclusions in this court. This is honestly pretty accurate to an actual everyone's busy and none of the nurses are being paid enough to care. Well, if they heard a gunshot, they should care a little more. Because then their lives are in danger. I'm just saying, if you hear 2 gunshots go off, aren't you going to call the police? Why did it take Valiant apparently going to the doctor for the police? Oh, I broke the hole in my mouth to call. Enough reason to stay away. Yeah, but my point is that where were the police? Why were the police not called? You know? Must have been the wind, the entire staff. American Hospital, wow. I don't think so. I just think this hospital is freaking a mess. Might be the same hospital we've been to before, so anyone could walk in and out pretty much, so I guess it would make sense. But if your testimony proves to be true, then defendant Zach Omari is guilty. And if it wasn't Zach Omari, then the killer was you, Valiant. And no disappearing act will get you out of that. And I visited the hospital room at the time. Okay. Well, now that I think about it, if Zach arrives at 11:05, shoots the clown, they talked for 10 to 15 minutes. No one knew about. For 10 to 15 minutes. Wouldn't it have already been 11:20 by that time? So how the frick did he not see Zach on the way out when he was coming in? Because I'm believing my client. Alright. Which, according to the letter, was 11:20 p.m. Indeed. In magic, timing is everything. Right. Suppressor? Maybe? That's a possibility. I guess... Okay, this is a random question. Would the forehead be a suppressor? Would a forehead be a suppressor? Because the clown has a very big indent on his forehead. Like, that is a big indent, so maybe that's why it's like that, because it was pressed so hard against his head. Not at that range, no. Even though it's right against his head. That's the only reason I'm asking, because look at that cloud, man. That is a freaking indent. That is an indent, man. That makes the noise. Yeah. I know. Wait, no, did it just say Grimoire? Wish I could zoom. Was it shoved down the clown's forehead? Okay. To his head with his fingers, I guess. Consider the illusion of teleportation. If I were to appear on stage before my stunt double has left, how would that look? Why, it would reveal the very secrets of my magic. Now that you've revealed the very secrets of your magic for us all, let's move on. You went at the designated time, and what did you see? So, you weren't worried for your own safety at all? I mean, you smelled gunpowder, yes? What if the shooter was still nearby? I did not consider that, to be honest. Really? Okay. It is forbidden for a magician to have a good imagination. Huh? That feels like a lie. Really? Isn't magic all about illusions and imagination? How about this? Were you the shooter, which is why you weren't afraid? Now you are the one imagining it. Someone seems a little guilty. It is forbidden for a lawyer to have a good imagination. No, they kind of need a good bit of imagination to solve cases, thank you very much. The witness will refrain from pausing so suspiciously before responding. My forbidden imagination is starting to imagine things. I did not imagine my fellow student may have received the same instructions. Yes, even the judge. The judge always has to put in he's got some funny lines, man. Which brings us back to the reason neither of you could refuse. So it does, and my partner, he did not refuse. But Magnethy wrote the same thing to you. Why could you refuse if Zack couldn't? Because I have a will of steel, of course. I also do this trick where I bend metal bars, so perhaps steel isn't all so strong. So which is it? Mind if I continue? Oh, he's so suspicious, it's ridiculous. It's not even funny. You're just very strong, I guess. Or he has very weak steel that he bought, yet a deal with the dead is still a deal. There were 2 bullet holes at the scene, one in the victim and one in the clown. You're saying the one who shot the clown was you? No doubt my partner Zack had said much the same thing. Yeah, because whoever didn't shoot the clown committed murder. Welcome back, Val. I better dig around here a bit more and see what I turn up. Mr. Valiant, let me ask about something else concerning the crime scene, namely... the location, the bullet in the pistol. No, it's a literal doll. There's no actual clown. It's a doll. It's a literal doll. It's a doll. So it doesn't have a name. Trying to think. The bullet in the pistol, the location of the pistol, the number. Let's try this. How many pistols were there when you entered the room? By what you mean what, precisely? Might be failing me, sort of. Last 2 days, the net stops for some solid bets that goes back to normal. Maybe pull the wire out and then push it back in? Because maybe it was just loose. 2 pistols are used in the Zack and Valiant quick draw shoot 'em, correct? Right, okay, get pizza. Do you think I have every occupation under the sun? You went to college! You're in college! There should be a career advisor! Talk to them! Their job is to help you! Yeah, I don't have every job under the sun. I don't think I would stream if I had every job under the sun. I don't think I'd ever sleep. One for each of you. You're well informed. Yet, only one of my old friends sat in the hospital room that night. What did Zack tell me back in the lobby? That there was 2? Of course, I had no intention of shooting my mentor. I snuck into his room that night at the appointed time, and found there upon his bedside 2 pistols. I took the pistol I had fired and placed it in my pocket. Mrs. Worldwide. So all the jobs but the ones I have asked about got it. No! I did that to the Wi-Fi thingy. If it happens to me, I'll do it to the PC. Not sure if I did it already. Yeah, that is weird. I see no problem with that statement. Only one pistol is visible in the photograph of the crime scene, after all. So you picked up that pistol and fired it? Indeed I did. Alakazam. Alakazam. Alakazing. Alakaboom. Wait, if I ask if you have a job, do you get fired? No? I don't even know how that works. Is the number of pistols really so important? I don't know. In order to shoot a pistol, you need a bullet. Where was the bullet? I entered the room and took the pistol in my hand. The bullet was already loaded, ready to fire at any time. A magician is always prepared, you see. Prepared for... One never knows when a miracle will be called for. A magician always has 7 doves in his pocket, and a white rabbit up each sleeve. Clearly we're dealing with professionals here. Is this bullet that was loaded in the pistol really so important? No. Actually, let me ask something else. I didn't become Russian. At least I don't think that was Russian. Let's see. I don't think the location is the big deal. I think we'll just go with the number. I think that matters more. Alright, blah blah blah, I read this already. Alright. He also has gloves. We'll put quite important. The number of pistols is quite important, Your Honor. Very well. Please add this detail to your testimony. What could I do but obey? Only one pistol was in the hospital room the night. With it, I shot the clown. Trying to think, how would I go about... Wait... How would I go about... Would it be the second letter, maybe? I saved. I don't even remember if I did. Which, by the way, why does Magnifi Grimoire have a clown in his hospital room? Does he like clowns?
Objection!
Nope. I thought I'd try. Why not? I just am like, that's such a random thing to have, you know?
Objection!
Nope, it's not that one either. He has no fear of John Wayne Gacy. Or he just likes clowns, I don't know. I don't really like clowns. I'm just assuming because he is an old man that he likes clowns. Okay, what if I press? Okay, so you took the only pistol there and fired it. That's correct. And that pistol was this one, which was left at the crime scene? Good show. I see you too are a magician of sorts. And you're an idiot of sorts. Do you have any idea what you just said? I see the fire in your eyes as you glare at the witness. So how about heating up this trial a bit? These slow billiards bore me. I've got a hunch, but maybe that's all it is. Maybe I should ask about something else. No need. On second thought, let's run with this testimony for a while longer. Now I am from the doctor. Okay, so it's this, but what the frick is it? Is it this? Objection! Okay, it's this. Alright. According to the defendant, Zach Gramwari, when he entered the room, there were 2 pistols on that table. 2. One of those pistols he used to shoot the clown in the forehead. Then he left with it in his pocket. Of course, this is what he would say. Unlike the hapless clown, we must assume our defendant has some brains in his head. Well, what about what Mr. Valen has told us? You see, there was something about his testimony that doesn't make sense. What might that be? I told you I took the pistol that was there and shot the clown. That's your story, at least. But the rifling marks tell a very different story, Mr. Valen. Recall what Prosecutor Gavin told us. We've compared the bullets taken from the victim's skull with the bullets fired from this gun. The rifling marks on the bullets were a perfect match. Oh. Mr. Valen, if you fired this pistol, then you shot the victim in the forehead. Ha ha. Ha 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 ha. Order, order, order. Well, this is all rather sudden. What have I done? Prosecutor Gavin? I owe the court an apology. Sorry. Sorry for what? You see, I was unaware that 2 of these unique pistols were crafted. The analysis of the rifling marks only proved the type of gun that fired them. But that's not what you told us before. You said you'd verified the murder weapon. Which is why I'm apologizing to you now, quite sincerely, I might add. Are you? You laughed at me. How is that sincere? Please inform me. Please inform me of how that is sincere, and I might get back to you with my frickin' secretary to tell you how much of a liar you are. Thank you very much. Would you hold me accountable for a mistake made in my youth? That depends on if you're continuing to do that action. Which technically you are going to. So yes. That was just this morning. I am still young. And I might add, it wasn't really my fault. If the defendant had only admitted he took 1 pistol from the scene of the crime, we would not be having this pleasant discussion now. Valiant Gramwari? Yes, Your Honor? You were presented to this court as a decisive witness, but you've proven to be more divisive than decisive. Yeah, that mistake that was 20 seconds ago. Yeah. You'll see in time. The testimony so far has merely been a review of the facts. The proof comes next. Care to elaborate, Prosecutor Gavin? When Mr. Valen entered the hospital room, the victim had already been shot, and says his next testimony will prove, right, the real fight is about to begin. Bring it. Very well. The witness will now testify to the court. Help us determine who shot what. Bring it. I just love it. My goodness. Who shot what? I arrived in the hospital room at the appointed time, which is to say 11:20 p.m. After discovering the body, I fulfilled my obligation. And I hit the button. then called in the doctor. The doctor examined the body before the police arrived. He was quite clear about the time of death, 11:10 p.m. And the one in the room at the time was my partner, not me. Those times are rather close, you'll have to admit. When did he die? He has freaking 30-minute window, buddy. That's 30 minutes. 30 minutes, not exactly. Oh, exactly at this particular time he died, because they can't say that. You're talking about an alibi established over a matter of minutes. To use a 10-minute discrepancy as the basis of your alibi is easy to explain in this situation, Herr Judge. For example, take our debut single, 13 Years Hard Time for Love. Cue to the song, press the play button, and it will play for 2 minutes, 15 seconds. Do it 100 times, the result is the same. Their debut single was only 2 minutes and 50 seconds long. What a ripoff! Oh, Phoenix, if you knew about modern songs, you'd be so sad. Magic is a word of utmost precision. Hocus pocus requires admirable focus. And in the time of death determined by the doctor, there is an incontrovertible truth. Very well, the prosecution warns us that we're dealing with rather precise times. We can expect the cross-examination to require the same level of precision. I would hope the defense refrains from its customarily broad, sweeping accusations, lest we blur the focus this case so clearly demands. Point taken. Baseless remarks result in a penalty. Carry on, Mr. White. Carry on. Right. Oh, boy. Great. More penalties if I click the wrong statement. Thanks, buddy. Alright. After discovering the body, I fulfilled my obligation and called the doctor. The doctor examined the body before the police arrived. He was quite clear about the time of death. I don't think I'm stepping out of a limb to say that I have some doubts about this. How could the doctor be so precise with the time? We don't usually only get an estimated time of death, true. I'm not sure I've heard of a verified time of death. Magic revels in making the complex rather simple, but reality is the opposite. What appears complex, in this case, is a simple matter of subtraction. I see another person has done their arithmetic homework. The point here is the IV the victim was taking. It's quite visible in the photograph of the scene. Recall what we've heard earlier about the victim Magnifi Grimoire's schedule. Every night at 11 o'clock, Magnifi took an IV drip for 30 minutes. I can see the IV bag right there, yes. Now look a little closer. Follow the tube down from the bag to the end. Right here. Oh! The needle's been removed. Doubtless it fell out when he was shot. It fell out when he was... No, it's taped! It's freaking taped to the bed! What do you mean? Oh yes, it fell out when he was shot. Wouldn't there be blood? Wouldn't there just be blood? IVs just cause blood to happen. That would seem to be the case. When the needle comes out, the IV no longer drips. Ah, you could just measure the remaining IV liquid. Precisely. The IV liquid functions for our purposes as an hourglass of sorts. This is how the doctor determined the time of death. From the amount of remaining in the bag, it was determined that the IV had stopped 10 minutes after administration began. Only a bit of it, though. Yeah, but you would see blood. That's the thing. Where's the blood? Because if you're taking the IV out, the blood, you would still see blood on his arm from the thing being put into his arm. And so it was when I, Valiant, entered that room. 10 minutes had passed since that horrible crime was committed. And this is proof. Well, Mr. Wright? Did that seem important? Very important. Well, seeing how it is the biggest clue we have to the time of death, I'd say it's very important. Agreed. It would be hard to imagine a more precise way to determine the time. There would also be blood in the needle. Yeah. There's a lot of things where it's like, we would see blood. There'd be blood somewhere. This scene is surprisingly clean. Behold the power of arithmetic. Very well. The witness will add this detail to his testimony. Sometimes the most magical thing of all is the truth. Yes, it is. But you don't have no truth, thank you very much, buddy. The water of life springs, not eternal. The remaining IV liquid proves my innocence. Is a thing with IV. Yeah, it is. Let me read this. 30 minutes required to administer full IV from the amount remaining. IV stopped 10 minutes after the administration began. Okay, so how do we get around this? I don't know. It's just strange. I guess we should just go freaking crazy and present things, maybe, after I press this. Did you notice the IV yourself, by any chance? When first I entered the room, the stench of gunpowder hit me. Next, the mark of death upon my mentor's forehead. And then his left arm did I spy arose, drooping and wilted. Its thorn, the discarded IV needle. Knocked from the vein by the force of the shot, lucky for you. If that IV had been there, why, you might be a suspect. Had not been there. Indubitably so. I might say it's thanks to my lucky color. Your lucky color? Indeed, even today I wear it proudly upon my suspect self, for it always, without fail, brings me luck. Why, when Zack and Valiant won their first Magician's Grand Prix, yes, the very one held by the Association of Eternal Magicians, I was adorned in this attire then too, and our trophy, a bust. Oh, what a day that was. Groan, this is one trip down memory lane no one needs. My lucky color, yes, and that IV too. I say, 'twas hubed especially for me, Valiant. That does seem to be the case, indeed. Well, Mr. Wright, any thoughts on this testimony? Valiant sure looks happy with himself. Okay, how about this lucky color testimony? Let me frickin' read this again. Blah, blah, blah. Indeed, I wear if it hadn't been there, why suspect you would be a suspect. It's probably a contradiction. I don't know what it is, but there's a contradiction somewhere. It certainly sounds like your lucky colors brought you plenty of luck, but not this time. Mr. Valiant, your lucky color betrayed you. Afraid you've lost me. Your Honor, the witness testimony just now clearly contradicts the evidence. What? Please recall my wording at the beginning of this cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Baseless accusations will be duly penalized. I do hope this latest accusation is well-based. Don't worry, I've got all your bases right here. Very well, let's hear the defense's claim. Where is your evidence that contradicts with what Mr. Valiant has told us? Me freaking, not my attorney's badge. I can't read the thing. There it is. Let me freaking read this. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. And then his left arm did I spy a rose, drooping and wilted. Its thorn. So yeah, the blood. Where's the blood? Where's blood? The crime scene tells all, Your Honor. The photo of the crime scene? All this talk of color has me yearning for black and white, clear-cut simplicity. Well, even black and white is not simple. There's some gray. Tell us, right? Just where is the contradiction in this photo? My pleasure, and I assure you, it's quite simple. But I can't promise anything in black and white. So, let's hear what Mr. Wright has to say. What in this photograph contradicts the witness's testimony? His arm? His literal arm? Contrary to Mr. Wright's promises, this seems pretty black and white to me. Agreed. How's that? Huh? Oh, I guess, should I click on the frickin' IV? It goes right in the frickin' arm! It's stupid. Where the frick am I supposed to click, then? But yeah, I don't get it. I don't at all. Well, let's hear the defense's claim. Where is your evidence that contradicts what Valiant told us? This. Go. Alright, let's save here. Okay. Alright. Okay. What in this photograph contradicts the witness's testimony? Should I just click the frickin', is it the IV? No? What the where do I have to click? Okay, then we'll save here. What in this order contradicts the witness testimony? Is it the frickin' tape? Like, do I just go to the tape? Nope. Where the frick? Where the frick do you want this? Where? He said blood. There's no blood, mother trucker. Like here? No, go there. Present. Okay, I'm gonna frickin' look this up. It's where specifically on. It's about the frickin' blood. It's just dumb. It's very dumb. Alright. Investigation's not what I need. I got that. I want the past one, please. 7 years ago. This is after this. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, we got all that. Okay. Oh, the IV bag. Okay. I'm fine. I'm annoyed at the game. Okay, so I have to okay. Fine. So I have... Oh. Where the... Now I have to figure out where the frickin' random mute button is. How did that happen? There it is. How did that happen? Oh, because I hit case 4. Ah... Okay, I have to hit the IV bag specifically. Okay. There. Go. Alright. Valiant Grimoire, let's get one thing straight about your lucky color. It's yellow, yes? Kind of takes the mystery out of it, but yes. Something wrong with yellow, Mr. Wright? Yes, there is. Decisively wrong, in fact. Take another look at the photo of the crime scene. Yes, we're in the past. This is 7 years ago. Yeah, it is Apollo. It's a case that's connected to the current case that you saw in the present. This is a case from 7 years ago when Phoenix lost his attorney badge. So we're in the past right now. That's why he looks so young. Here, want me to blow your mind even more, paper? This is Trucy. Trucy's 8. That tells you how far we are in the past. And Claudia are 17. This tells you the difference in age. What's this? Confusion, doubt. Tell us, what did your elderly eyes spy? She's the youngest ever. Yep. Even my elderly eyes can see a problem here, Mr. Valiant. Look at the IV bag. What is this? What? Oh, mug. Chick. It would be hard to call the IV liquid yellow. Oh, I was talking about the blood. Okay, whatever. And I'm afraid no magic was involved in the taking of this photograph. Alakoos! What the frick? Sure, that's blue. Yeah. Order, order, order. What does this mean? This is some kind of mistake. Yes, Prosecutor Evan? The witness's mistake. The greener they are, the harder they fall. Alaka, no. Ha ha ha. I suppose there's no substitute for experience. Valiant Grimoire, as you reminded us several times, your lucky color is yellow, but the IV is clearly not. Well, this contradiction can mean only one thing. Can I finish speaking? Well, you put on the glasses. Yes. Because he has his sunglasses on right now when he's 17, so I'm putting on the glasses just like him. And to think, you almost had me. I see your true colors now. Ace Attorney, Phoenix Wright. He said the thing! He said the thing! He said the thing, guys! He said it! He said Ace Attorney! Woo! Yes, he said the thing! I couldn't help myself. Roll credits. Yep, everyone claps. That was funny. Something you'd like to tell us, Prosecutor Gavin? As far as this court can tell, the witness's testimony does contradict the evidence. Yes, a contradiction. One that I shall be pleased to hand right back to Mr. Wright. How do you mean? How? Because the witness has made no mistakes. I agree, at a glance the liquid does appear a sort of greenish yellow. But I assure you the liquid itself is quite yellow. Yellow liquid? How can you say that? As far as I can tell from this photo, it's green. Yes, but what color is the IV bag itself? The bag? You mean the plastic bag on the hook? It's blue. Oh, because yellow and blue make green? But then how did he know the thing was yellow? It looks a little... It looks like, I would say, light blue. Precisely. Figured it out yet? Put the yellow liquid in a blue bag and... Alright, well, thanks for stopping by, Paper. You get green. This, incidentally, is the liquid's true color. I see. Your explanation does have the ring of truth to it. So yeah, how did he know that, though, if he came in at 11:20 when the procedure to put in the IV would be at 11 o'clock? He saw the liquid after it left the bag? But the IV's already supposed to be removed. Based on his testimony, he was already shot. So there would be no liquid in the line. Because allegedly Zach shot Magnifique Grimoire before Valiant was even here. So the line would have fallen out of his arm already. So then the liquid would not be continuing forward. So then how would he know it was yellow? If there's no yellow liquid on the bed and it's not in the line except for up in the IV bag. How would you know it was yellow unless you were here when the doctor put in the IV in the bag? If I put yellow thingy in a blue bag, that I'd still be able to faintly see the yellow. Do it myself, maybe, and I believe it, but if I tried enough, I could maybe see it. Okay, bye. So I think that just shows his guilt, that he was there earlier than what that note says. As I thought, there's no substitute for experience, Prosecutor Gavin. What? You may tell a good tale, but you've just proven something rather grave. For you, that is. Grave? The liquid in the IV is yellow, yes. But how did this witness know that? It's quite unnatural when you think about it. Did you think about it? Didn't you? Your Honor, the defense requests an explanation from the witness. At the scene of the crime, the IV liquid appears to be green. So let me ask, how did the witness know the IV liquid was actually yellow? Oh, come on! Oh my gosh! Order. Mr. Wright, you'll explain this at once. The witness clearly knew the color of the IV liquid, so I'm sure it means something, but what? Alright, I gotta take a quick break, and then we'll continue this. I'll be right back, just a couple minutes. I'm back. And yeah, I would hope me and Feeny, golly, I hope I never call him Feeny ever again. Me and Phoenix are connected because we've been through freaking so many cases together, golly. It'd be ridiculous not to know his mind. Alright. I can think of only one possibility, Your Honor. The witness, Valiant Grimoire, has testified that the IV liquid was yellow because he knew the IV's color. From the facts before us, the answer is clear. The witness knew that the IV liquid was yellow. Why? Because he'd seen it before. But not the inside the blue bag we see in the photo. He saw the liquid by itself in a clear, colorless bag. I suppose you would have to, but I'm still not clear as to what this means. That wording is kind of tricky. Yes, it is. Ask yourself, why would he know if he didn't work at the hospital? That's where you'll find your meaning, Your Honor. I'm afraid I find nothing. So what if he knew the IV's liquid color? Leave the getting excited over absolutely nothing to our teeny bobble fans, ja? What the frick? Why? The IV liquid is the only evidence proving the time of death. A 30-minute hourglass with 20 minutes worth of sand remaining. Your claim, Prosecutor Gavin, I remember it well. However, there's a critical difference between an hourglass and an IV bag. Wait, I know. An hourglass uses sand, but an IV bag uses liquid. I'm right, right? Yes. As much as it pains me to say this, Your Honor, no. Unlike the sand through an hourglass, IV liquid enters the patient's body, at which point, like magic, it disappears. However, what if the amount of IV liquid had increased? You couldn't tell, could you? After all, there's no way of knowing how much went in.
Objection!
Let me get this straight, right? You're saying the witness watered down the victim's IV bag. Not with water, but with IV liquid. That's how you knew the IV liquid was yellow. Oh, okay, I guess. I thought he got there earlier in the day. I guess not. So, you're saying the victim watered down the victim's IV bag. Depending on the cord being used there would be a delay of like 5 minutes. Huh. Which would still be enough time. Yeah. No, wait, I said wait! How might an amateur such as myself is made to perform such a task?
Objection!
I'm an amateur too, but I can pour water into a cup.
Objection!
I'm afraid there's quite a big difference between a cup and an IV bag, quite. Can you prove a witness is capable of such a feat? Yeah, that's a point, amateurs. I at least would have some difficulty pouring IV liquid into that bag. You don't need to be an expert to see the look on the witness's face. He added liquid to that IV to throw off the time of death. I tire of these fairy tales lacking evidence. Well, Mr. Wright, any solid evidence to bring us back down to earth? Valiant Grimoire, I'm afraid your magic won't serve you well in a life of crime. Might I ask what you're strongly suggesting? Magic relies on props, and props become evidence. Our witness was certainly able to increase the amount of IV liquid in the bag. All he had to do was work with a little magic, and the prop was... He used the insolent? Oh my gosh, he used the freaking medicine in his IV bag. Wow, I did not expect that at all. Holy tamales. The victim's syringe. It's the perfect prop for the magically increasing IV trick, and easy enough for an amateur to use. What kind of evidence is that? The syringe was clean, not a trace of liquid in it. It was washed. Don't you find that odd, Prosecutor Gavin? What? The victim had the syringe to administer his insulin shots. There should have been traces of insulin left inside. True. He had it left out, so obviously he was going to take his insulin. Why would he just leave it there? Well, Valiant Grumari, as you pointed out yourself, the IV liquid makes the perfect clock. One that you could manipulate at will. Kalakazuzo! Now, how does this go south? I do believe, well, with this being his first, that the burden of this trial has been a bit too much to bear for Prosecutor Gavin. I'm afraid that, well, there is doubt as to the amount of liquid in that bag. The time of death cannot be proven. And that brings our trial to a close for today. Well, maybe I can squeeze an extra day out of us. You do a little much-needed investigation work. I see there's no objections, so court is adjourned. Oh no! Something bad is going to happen. Truly, there is no substitute for experience. Nothing binds one to the truth so effectively. A word to the wise. Underestimate the young, and they'll sweep your feet out from under you in a way you never ever expected. You see, I know exactly what you're thinking. What's he talking about? You say... Oh. You say the witness used the syringe to manipulate the level of the IV liquid. By cheating? Yeah, probably. But there is no proof. There's no proof he didn't do it either. In forging evidence. Yeah, him, yes. Yes, quite true. Huh? He's admitting it. Nor was this witness quite as decisive as I'd hoped. This I admit. After all, why linger in the past when the future holds so much? You have something in mind, Prosecutor Gavin? Proof, Air Judge. I have another way to prove my case. With evidence, no less. It's the diary! I knew it was going to be the evidence that makes everything fall into place, that shows that his career is a lie. What's this? This is the victim Magnifi Grimari's diary. Diary? After going into the hospital, Magnifi began writing his memoirs, it seems. The story of his birth, his startling debut, and of meeting his disciples. It seems he intended for the last chapter to end, quite appropriately, with his death. Wait, that book doesn't say what the reason was it? Does it? The reason why his disciples couldn't refuse his last request? Sadly, it does not. What's important here is on the last page. Apparently, the victim wrote in his journal that night, even after the IV had begun at 11 p.m. Let's read it, shall we? Tonight's IV is the last. Tonight's IV is in. Maybe the last. I leave the rest to them. The first should come soon. The journal may end here, or it may go on, but not long. That depends on his hands. All that is left to mine is I can't read because the judge's text is in the way. This does appear to have been written just before his death. All that's left to mine is to lay down this pen. But the idea is the same? The court accepts this into evidence. Okay, let me read that again, thank you. What, you mean like compared to the letters? I wanted to read it! Let me read the genie! No clues. Let me read it, you Can I read the thing, you jerk? Open it. Thank you. Tonight's IV's in, maybe the last. Can I read Phoenix? Huh? What's this? It looks like a page was ripped out. Well now, isn't that interesting? Can I read as I please, you frickin' jerk? Is there anything here? Nope, okay. Read the very last part with particular care. This journal may end here, or it may go on, but not long. That depends on his hand. Of course, by his, he refers to our defendant, Zakwamari. They do the pressure thing to see what's written in the page before and see that it marks Val as innocent. They do the pressure thing to see what's written in the page before and see that it marks Val as innocent. I guess. I don't really see him as... I don't know. Maybe I'm just confused on why it would prove his innocence. Except that this is the fake one. Yeah. That is our assumption, yes. So what are you... I guess... Explain to me what you mean that this shows that he's innocent. Because all it says is that they're both going to arrive. Okay, can you turn? Thank you. Open, please. The first should come soon. The journal may end here and it might go on, but not long. That depends on his hand. Okay, so tonight's IV is in, maybe the last. I leave the rest of them. The first should come soon. The journal may end here, or it may go on, but not long. That depends on his hand. All that is left to mine is to lay down this pen. Lay down this pen. It seems fate's clock will make me wait a little longer. At least, only less than 10 swift minutes remain. All those who have supported me in my life's work, I give thanks. Farewell. Magnifique Grimoire. Oh, so yeah, this proves... Yeah, this half proves that it's real. That he waited. It shows that Zack did not shoot Magnifique Grimoire. That would make sense, yes. He was the first scheduled visitor, after all. Okay, I had to read the whole thing in context. Now it makes sense. I was like, okay, now it makes sense. But look at what he said before that. This journal may end here, or it may go on. It may go on. Magnifique Grimoire intended to fight again. That is, if Zack Grimoire didn't pull the trigger. I see the defense understands the meaning of this. The victim's diary does not go on. It ends. Is he blind? The freaking page has a ripped thing out of it. How do you not read this and go, oh yeah, that looks like a page is missing? Because Magnifique's life was brought to an end by the defendant, Zack Grimoire. Order, order, order. Prosecutor Gavin. Are you certain that Magnifique Grimoire wrote this? There is no mistaking his handwriting. Well, this does seem to be significant. According to this, Magnifique did intend to continue his diary. Where are you lost? Did you find where you're going? Yet if his diary ended here, which plainly it did, then the one who pulled the trigger was the first visitor, Zack Grimoire. Well, how do you like me now? Right? Still too green for your taste, He's right about the diary being pretty clear. Still, I find it hard to believe that he'd overlook such an obvious problem with this precious evidence. Well, Mr. Wright, the witness's testimony we heard was lacking, but putting together with this evidence, it seems quite sufficient for a case. If the diary is accepted like this, the trial's over. Maybe it's time for me to show them something. Show evidence. I'm left with no choice but to show my own evidence. What? You have some evidence that overturns this diary? It's not too late to rethink this and avoid more embarrassment. Very well, please show us your evidence, Mr. Wright. Incidentally, don't even think of showing us this diary I've just shown the court. Now that we've come this far, I hope you have something a little more decisive. Show us evidence that proves the victim continued writing his diary. Alright, I'll be happy to. Does that got to him before the diary ended? Being shows that the diary goes on? Yes, that's what it's saying. Yes, what they're saying is that last page, the left page that Clavier presented, is saying that he stopped writing on that page. But the other page we have that we got from Trilogy shows that Zach did not shoot Magnifique Grimoire, and he said he had to wait for the next one to come. Because he didn't shoot Magnifique Grimoire. Phoenix gives out the false evidence. We think. I don't know. We don't know who got it. That's the thing that I don't know. Alright, let's go. First, take a close look at this diary. Which I guess true, but we don't really know. Know that a page has clearly been ripped out. What's this? I hadn't noticed that at all. That's why we're still here talking about this. And it just so happens, I have here what I believe to be the missing page. I don't believe it. Looking at this page, it's hard to imagine that the first visitor that night shot Magnifique Grimoire. That's the defense's position. Wait, let me see that. What in Sam Hill? Why, this is a continuation of the victim's diary. He's not losing his mind? Huh? Why is everyone so calm? Note the torn page. Note the torn edge of the page. It's a perfect match with the torn remains of the last page in Magnifique's diary. Quite remarkable. Would you care to explain what all this means, attorney? The diary continued after his first visitor came, which means that the victim was still alive after Zach Grimoire left, leaving no one to take his life but the second visitor. Valiant Grimoire. No. No! The handwriting, too. Matches that on the other pages. This is, without a doubt, the genuine article. So how does this go bad? Order. But wait, that's impossible. That old man couldn't have written that. Huh, what do you mean that he couldn't have written that? What do you mean by that? One, yes, you're probably right that paper is probably the false evidence. But interesting that Valiant says that Magnifique couldn't have written that. What do you mean he couldn't have? Is it the one who did the setup? Then who did? Who did the setup if it's not Valiant? There's a third party. Oh no, there's a third? The joke was made earlier that, oh, it's an unrelated third party.
Objection!
Oh no. Finally, you just couldn't resist, could you, Ed? Right. Resist what? Presenting solid evidence? Judge? Yes, Prosecutor Gavin? Might I request we put the current cross-examination on hold? The prosecution would like to call a new witness. But Prosecutor Gavin, this evidence overturns the current witnesses. I ask only to put it on hold. Please, my new witness has a very, very important piece of testimony to give. So maybe this is our... Who's the third witness? 5 minutes, no more. I promise, Your Honor. Well, if you put it that way. Mr. Wright, what's your take on this? Well, Your Honor, judging from his enthusiasm, we'll have to hear this new testimony sooner or later anyway. So it might as well be sooner. I think you should have said no. I think you should have said no. Then this is highly irregular. We will put the current cross-examination on hold. The witness may step down. Now, Prosecutor Gavin, please bring this surprise witness to the courtroom. Who is it? I had a bad feeling just then. Oh, you think it's, oh my gosh. Attorney Gavin, I guess. I can't remember his frickin' first name. But yeah. Attorney Gavin, not Prosecutor Gavin. Yeah. That ripped out page was too obvious. He must have known. And I should have known it was a bad sign all around. It's Drew Masham. Holding a trial with no audience is a first even for me, Prosecutor Gavin. I beg the court's understanding. But I had to make a judiciary deal with the witness to secure his testimony. I was wondering when I was looking for a freaking picture for him why he had something for the court, like why he had a Sprite. Now I know why. He was in court. A judiciary deal? The details of his testimony seem to have legal ramifications, shall we say. I thought it'd be best to contain the information to this room. Very well. You are the witness, I gather? Yes, sir. State your name and occupation for the record. My name's Drew Masham. I'm a painter. Painter? And you are somehow related to this case? No, well, not per se. I have one simple question for this witness. Mr. Masham, was it? Do you know what this is? Oh, yeah, I know it well. Like, not my favorite, but a good one. Well, yeah, I didn't know how the last one would go. I'm gonna be honest. I believe Valid is guilty of murder. I believe it 100%. How all of everything is involved, I don't know how. Or maybe it is Attorney Gavin. I don't know. Maybe they're in cahoots. How's that possible? Have you seen this diary page somewhere before? Well, yeah. I mean, I made it. Well, first, he lied in court. Because he didn't make it, his daughter did. 2, I'm very confused on, is this the lie or what's the lie? Doable lie, yeah. You what? You made it? Yes. You might call it one of my works. The prosecutor's office received a tip-off yesterday. Illegal evidence has been prepared for the trial of Zach Grimori. Now, how the frick did they know that? I think this is where Attorney Gavin gets involved. I think that's how he's connected, if we're assuming Gavin is involved. Because how would someone know about that when Drew Masham is such a recluse? Illegal evidence. Yeah, him and someone else. I initiated an investigation and found this witness. A painter to the wood at large, Drew Masham has another side, you might say. He is skilled in making perfect reproductions of certain things. Forgeries, in other words. Forgeries? Well, so are we to understand that this page here is a fake, prepared by a certain defense attorney? You're going to say that Phoenix commissioned this? How the frick would he figure this out? He got this yesterday. Oh my gosh, I just realized something. Phoenix was given this the night before. There was a different defense attorney for this trial. There's only one other defense attorney currently in this story. During 7 years ago, it would have to be Attorney Gavin. Because Phoenix was given this the night before the trial. It'll make this worse. His whole reputation off that. Yes, he did. So his brother, like, Attorney Gavin, set up his brother Clavier, set up someone that he would call a close friend to lose his job. Yeah, it was Trilogy. She was given it by someone in the hallway. She was told to give it to him. Trilogy said someone in the hallway gave it to her and said to give it to the man in the blue suit and the spiky hair. That is what was said to Trilogy. She didn't specify who. She just said somebody. So now this is getting interesting.
Objection!
Hold it. I didn't prepare this evidence.
Objection!
The attorney speaks. Something about this page, I presume, but what is he saying? It makes no sense. After all, it was you who presented this evidence to us, Phoenix, right? So we got set up. Witness? Or Mr. Masham, was it? Who requested this forgery? Was it your client? I don't know. What? Most of my clients prefer to remain anonymous, even to me. I make the items I want and receive my payment. That's the extent of my contract with them.
Objection!
So then you can't pin it on Phoenix, but there's no proof that this is a fake. It's a fake. Huh? To avoid just this sort of problem. I always put a special mark on my works. I can say without a doubt, this is mine. Well, prove it, mother trucker. What marking? Tell me. Show me. Mr. Wright, you have just presented illegal evidence to this court. My court. It was careless of me. That's all I can say.
Oh, old boy. Here.
What's this?
I don't know. I just got it over there in the hall. They told me to give it to the old boy in the blue suit with spiky hair.
See, that's all she said.
They said it was really important.
You just noticed that was for me to be able to read the frickin' name. For my sanity. It was all a trap. A fatal trap. Mr. Wright? Yes? Do you have any explanation for yourself? If I did, would the court hear it? Probably not. Forging evidence is a serious crime. And presenting it in court, a serious mistake. Fatal mistake for an attorney. Fatal too, perhaps for your client, I fear. Tell me, what kind of defendant relies on forged evidence? The answer is quite clear. A guilty one.
Objection!
Your Honor, wait. I understand that presenting forged evidence in court is a serious crime, but you cannot hold my client responsible for actions I undertook as an individual. I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. Your Honor? Another close call, I dare say. If the prosecutor's office hadn't received that hot tip, everything would have gone the way you wanted it to, Ja. Yeah, but I think that's just the point of the story plot point, I guess.
I even gave you a chance. Too bad you decided not to think before embarrassing yourself. I need no further... I see no need for further discussion on this matter. Special witness dismissed.
Mr. Attorney? Mr. Attorney?
Yes?
Could I ask your name?
Phoenix Wright?
Mr. Wright, I've seen and studied many people, but none like you. I'll remember you, Mr. Wright.
To be honest, according to Phoenix Wright has been demonstrated to be a bit incompetent. Yes, and also we're gonna be very honest. How the trial proceedings is nothing accurate to real life trials. So the story trumps logic sometimes.
And an airhead. Yep. So I deeply regret having to declare a verdict this way. This trial is over. You have the right to find a new attorney and make an appeal. However, this court must... Oh, Your Honor? Yes, Mr. Zack? Like 1,000 times, yes. There's one thing I wish to make clear. Today, in this courtroom, you cannot declare me guilty. It's impossible. I'm afraid the defendant is quite mistaken. I most certainly have the authority to declare a verdict on you. Except, tell me, how do you plan on announcing your verdict when your defendant does not exist?
Doesn't exist? What are you talking about? Oh, so he disappeared! So this is how he went missing.
Trials last less than a week at most. I'm talking about this. Mr. Igmar.
The defendant's escaped. Find him quick.
Bailiff, close all exits from the building. On the double, he must not be allowed to escape.
Wow, so he was on the run for 7 years, and then Attorney Gavin killed him. Because we never really knew the reason why he killed him. I guess this is connected to why? That day in that courtroom, a miracle occurred. The defendant, Shady Agmar, aka Zach Omari, did not just escape from court. He literally, unbelievably, vanished. Right before the bailiff's eyes. No one ever saw him again, not since that day.
This is the Grimoire miracle. This is the Grimoire miracle.
No verdict was declared. After all, the defendant didn't exist. That's how it happened. Wow. The trial of magician Zach Omari vanished, along with him for all eternity. He left Trucy with Phoenix. Yep. Well, he wouldn't want his daughter to be on a run all these years. Would you really want to have your daughter on the run for a crime you didn't commit? The mysteries that remained behind were all solved, however. But not until 7 years later. To be continued right now. So yeah, what did you guys think of the trial 7 years ago? Pretty good, I might say. The trial 7 years ago was the beginning of all of it. This I know beyond a doubt. The mysteries of the past work their magic on the present. Pure cinema. Rigged. Hey, we're fixing it now. But you'll soon find all of this out for yourself. Which of Magnifique Grimoire's disciples pulled that trigger? Where did the vanishing defendant Zach Omari go? And ended in peak. Yes, it did. What dark truth lies behind that forged diary page? And what about the girl who was left behind? Mason system. Look, we're back in here again. The past left us these 4 keys to unlock the truth. But that's not all. There are 4 keys in the present as well. And when all the questions have found their answers, the final trial will begin. But first, you must chase the truth through then and now. Think of it as a game. This is freaking cool. Phoenix! I, Phoenix Wright, will be your guide through this game. That terrible trial saw me present forged evidence. It ended half finished when the defendant vanished. What became of me after that? As your investigation proceeds, the answer will become clear. Oh, and one more thing. There's something I must tell you. As Apollo Justice has his bracelet, so too do I have my own weapon of sorts. My Magatama. Oh, yay, they did show it! Oh my gosh, he still kept it after years! Yay! Sorry, it made me happy. Oh, you kept it! What does it do, you ask? That I would have you see for yourself. Magatama, it's a, you know the yin-yang symbol? It's one of those things. So whatever happened to Maya? Maya's training to become the head of the Fae family. That's where she's been all these years. She's been training in, out of the country. That's what Spirit of Justice answers where she was. She's been training to become the head of the Fae family. Hello. There's her. Yeah, she's at a monastery currently. Training. So the Magatama... So instead of Apollo's bracelet where you look for, like, ticks, you use the Magatama to open up Cyclocks. Was just people... Point is, it's a more... Complicated? It's the way it was introduced first. All it is that it's a psycholock, which is a lock on someone's heart that you open up with different pieces of evidence you find. Accused of murder, the usual. Yep, that's what happens. Well now, shall we begin? Use Q and E to jump between the present and the past and present. But let's begin 7 years ago in the past. It is right after my last trial came to an abrupt end. Now that you know the game, let's play. What the frick? Where am I? I feel like... Guys, is this freaking you guys out, or is it just me? Like, is Phoenix in the Matrix? The nightmare trial was over, and the new nightmare of figuring out what had happened had just begun. I wanted to wake up, to walk away, but I figured I'm the only one who could do this, probably. And besides, I have plenty of time, thanks to the Bar Association Review Board's decision. It's hard to work when your attorney's badge has been taken away. 7 years ago, detention center visitor's room. Huh? Why are you in there? What strange sight doth mine eyes behold? Excuse me? 2 men on either side of a single transparent plane. Yet it seems fickle fate has switched sides, so to speak. The forger of fakes walks freely, while the innocent languishes within the plexiglass confines. There's been no proof that I forged anything. No proof that I took the life of my dear mentor. Yet, these chains cannot hold me for long. The stage awaits. And what, may I ask, awaits you? Little piano in a cold little hole in the wall. How right he was. But since you are here, what shall we discuss? The shooting of Magnifi Grimari, for one. Who pulled that trigger, Valiant or his partner Zack? His partner vanished before the answer could be found. If I'm going to get any closer to the truth, this is the place to start. Oh, look at that. It says end inquiry. Look at that. Look at that. That's cool. Talk. The failed trial. Fateful trial. I have to hand it to my partner. He knows how to make an exit. That talent. Yes, he made my attorney's badge disappear, and he never even touched it. Glory's spotlight always leaves someone weeping in the shadows.
Yet his very disappearance is itself a revelation.
Revealing what?
Sakurmari killed the Magnifi. It is as good as signed confession.
That's certainly been public's opinion's take on it.
I grow tired of my cage, and the time of my release is near. I must go and prepare.
Planning on jumping back into the magic right away?
As long as the audience awaits with bated breath, they will be valiant. And also,
Yes?
now that my partner has disappeared, Magnifi's repertory is mine. Valentine Army has a tradition to uphold.
Is that true? You had to wait for 7 years for that, by the way.
Seen in this light, the trial was quite good to me, for it to know, and you cannot pay for that kind of publicity.
Blackmail. The suspicion on you hasn't lifted entirely, Valent. After all, you received one of those letters too. You were just as obligated to follow Magnifi's instructions as your partner.
So I was, but only Sakurmari followed them. Let us not speak any more of who shot what. Now that my partner has vanished, the question is moot.
I'm more interested in learning something else, actually.
What might that be?
I want to know what Magnifi had up his sleeve. How could he coerce you and your partner to kill him?
The trick up his sleeve. Perhaps you do not know.
Know what?
A great magician never reveals his secrets.
Here's the Psycholock. Val, this is a Psycholock. I didn't think it would be that easy.
The audience must remain forever. The audience, bathed in the reflection of the glow of the spotlight.
My Magatama, one of my most prized possessions, which I got during a certain case, can show me the locks of people's hearts. And if I can unlock their hearts, they'll tell me their secrets. The Magatama starts it all, and the Magatama ends it. Let's save. The Mason system. A mystery across time. Woo! Updated graphics. And he's got 4. That's not the most I've seen. It's usually you could have 6 of them where you're like, why? The trick up his sleeve. I'm flying by the seat of my pants on this one. There must be a path leading from the evidence to the truth. Do we have? Okay, so we just have the evidence currently. Okay. And that's what I'm going to find. To ask someone to take a life, even one not long for this world, that's asking someone to commit murder.
Yes, our mentor was fond of dramatic moves and dramatic finales.
And he got his wish. His life was taken. What weakness could be so powerful as to coerce someone into committing murder? I guess it's a matter of life or death.
Care to explain?
Your trip lived in a world of showmanship. The flashier, the better. And flashy so often means danger, doesn't it?
Let us make this painless as possible. If you have proof of this danger, then show it.
I don't know if I have that. This? I was gonna say it's real. It's not fake.
Why, that's one of ours. Specially designed for your
show. Specially designed for a show, I gather. A single bullet, one shot.
What are you suggesting? We are magicians, Mr. Wright, not murderers.
I'm not crying murderer, Mr. Valent. I'm crying something far more tragic. An accident.
Valiant, Zack and Valent's quick draw, shoot 'em. How long has it been since these shots were last heard?
Was the shoot canceled because someone might get hurt?
Of course, what other reason could there be?
Well, it could have been canceled because someone has already been hurt.
Fascinating. My Frozen foraging friend.
I wonder if you guys remember, there's someone missing from this troupe that we haven't talked to yet. Well, no, technically we have, just not in this case.
But tell me, what can you prove with a single pistol?
Faustian. I can read, sorry. Well, tell me what would have happened if there had been an accident. Is it the blue one? Yes, how'd you guess? I think it's blue. I don't know. As in Faustian, yes, I know. What if one of your bullets took a life on stage?
The performance of magic is not concerned with what-ifs. It's concerned with precision. Precisely whom do you claim we shot?
Looks like I've chosen the right path. Let's just hope he walks with me. A life was sacrificed so that the show might go on. This shows who it was. I might not have enough evidence right now to pull this up. Maybe it's time to do a little more legwork. I remember that there was one of them, but I can't remember what color it was. I don't remember what color it is. I don't remember what color it was either. But we at least got... So we got one. Well, black is for Magnifique Grimoire. Okay, defendant lobby number 2. Didn't think I'd be back here for a while. I didn't want to have to remember that day. Though I deeply regret having to declare a verdict in this way. The trial is over. Oh, you wrote him? Alright. Purple? Maybe? I don't remember. Today in this courtroom, you cannot declare me guilty. I love that, how funny this was. When I came here on that fateful morning, I still had my badge, but now, though it seems accurate since there are already some of the colors of printer ink, its cyan is the only missing color. Maybe. Like an amputated limb, I still feel it itching. Where do I start? I don't even have the authority to investigate.
Hey, you there, sir.
Oh, hey, you there, sir. Down on my hands, floor on your head. Now, now, now.
What's the big idea of my ears?
No unauthorized personnel are allowed in here. But that would mean all unauthorized personnel are allowed.
Sook! I just say it like it is, sir, and it's usually wrong. Thrown out of the precinct, lost my friends, my girl, and even my wallet.
Oh, this poor guy. He has worse luck than Gumshoe. We've met before, haven't we? On a case? 2 years ago?
No recollection of that, sir.
Huh?
For me, working on a case is always in the present, progressive tense, sir. There is no past. There is only now, sir.
Okay, you're the bailiff, right?
Yes, sir. Court bailiff Mike Meekins at your service, sir.
When did you become a bailiff? I've asked to meet with the bailiff at this court who let the magician escape.
Let me try to make this as absolutely clear as possible for you, sir. It was me!
Sir. But you were a regular police officer once, right?
Sometimes bad things happen to good people, sir.
Something tells me it's a long story. Let's not go there. So you were in charge of security at the time of the vanishing?
I'm dying over here. Oh, it's a hard-knocking life, sir. Thrown out of the precinct, lost my friends, my girl, and even my wallet.
Guess I wasn't the only victim. Meekins. Last time we met, you were a police officer, right? It fits, doesn't it, though? It fits really well. In fact, you're still wearing your uniform.
Sir, I wish I didn't have to tell you this, but last year, tragedy struck a rising star at the precinct. I lost my case files 4 times in 3 days. They fired me.
How have you lost 4? You lost your case files 4 times in 3 days. That takes real talent, actually. They don't know what they're missing.
So here I am, sir, forced to start from square one, a lowly bailiff.
Not very good at his job. No, he's not. What, me being able
to make this voice? I don't know.
I channel it, I guess. But your uniform.
I took it with me as a souvenir the day I was fired.
That can't be legal. So you were the one who let the magician get away that day?
I'm dying over here. A rising star rises among the court bailiffs, full of hope. Then tragedy strikes.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it fits him really well, doesn't it? It's kind of what I'm using is based off of what I've watched, like, Let's Dubs of Ace Attorney. So for him, he's kind of got this voice, so that's what my brain thinks of what he sounds like. Is there anything you can tell me about it? About Zach Romari's disappearance?
Oh, the humanity!
That's enough of that. The magician's disappearance. Yes, I watched a Let's Dub. It's not like this type of voice, but they did have him at a slightly higher voice. High voice, I guess.
Why, yes, I said it was around 2 p.m. when I heard a commotion in court. I opened the door to see what might be amiss. The door slams open. Slam! And a guy's face is right there in front of me. Face!
So, you saw someone suspicious coming your way?
Yes, and I, being a bailiff of Little Standy, I gave chase. I chased that silk hat.
Well, it's going too high.
I chased that silk hat all the way down the hall, sir.
I have a diagram of the court building here.
Aha! There's courtroom number 7. That's where I was, sir. All by myself. Near a friend to call my own.
Okay, in which way did Zach Romari run after bursting through the courtroom door?
He went up like this and around the corner like that. So I, with no delay, ran after him with no delay. When I turned the corner, I saw the magician run into the defendant lobby. Swiftly I ran. Following him, I threw myself boldly into the room. Why, I remember it like it was right here, because it was lobby number 2, sir.
You ran into this room? I don't see any place to hide in here.
Believe it or not, sir, I don't believe it. Here, in this room, the magician, gone, vanished like a puff of smoke. Except there wasn't even any smoke. He was just gone.
That's impossible.
Yes, that word. Oh, how many times have I said that word? Even the sound of it causes me indescribable pain. I'm dying over here.
Okay, I won't say it again, promise. But you have to admit it's difficult to vanish into thin air. Did you search the lobby?
I searched.
By the pause.
There was nothing here at all, sir. That's right, nothing was here, sir.
How can he talk so loudly and still be hiding something? The vanishing trick. So Zach was in the room when he vanished.
Absolutely, sir. I saw it with my own eyes. That red silk hat, that flowing cape. He ran right in here, right inside this room.
Silk hat, cape. That's Zach, all right.
But sir, look at the room. There's not a single place to hide. Sir, there was nothing I could do but nothing, sir.
What about now? Have any ideas?
Sir, ideas about what exactly, sir, if you don't mind me asking?
You have quite a bit of time since then. Has nothing occurred to you at all? Do you have any idea what that trick he might have used to disappear like that? Oh, for the love of Pete. Only 2. Cyclops. I should have known. I don't even know what the frick would I even use? Guess we'll see. What does it give me? Well, of course it's going to be. Because we have to go between the present and the past to get clues. Disappearing trick. Okay, let me just read. What do you know? I'm going to find out. Why are you guys laughing? Is he that funny? Or is it just the timing of things? What did you just say? Huh. Imagine you're chilling with your GF or something. Okay. I was like curious. And then you ask her what she had for dinner yesterday. Then bam. Oh, that's what it was? That's what makes you guys laugh, is the Cyclops? Huh, 50 locks show up out of nowhere. Alright. I think I'm gonna end for the night, so then I can read that next time. Next time, we're gonna probably finish the, Ace Attorney. Apollo. Ace Attorney. Okay, a lot of things here, and then... How long's the trial? Not too bad. Alright, that's not bad. Attorney has a great comedic timing. Yes, it does. To freaking ridiculous degrees. You go, how the frick do they know timing? It's amazing. Alright, tomorrow. Let's see what tomorrow is before I end for the night. If it'll load. Thank you. Tomorrow's Persona 5. We get to do a bunch of stuff there, so that'll be exciting. Alrighty. Thank you guys for watching the stream, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!